This event is an experiment, fueled by reckless optimism. We went for it, willing to eat it along the way. The mountains and seafloors are infinitely patient. They play a long game, an immortal, geological one. We, on the other hand, are restless and obsessive, highly vulnerable, vastly underqualified. Our relationship status, complicated. We invited 12 surfers to Micronesia and exposed them to the elements and some really sharp coral. The results of our experiment are in. This is natural selection surf.
Halfway between the Philippines and Hawaii, you'll find Micronesia, a remote collection of islands scattered across nearly 3,000 square miles of the Western Pacific. These tiny coral atolls account for less than 1,000 square miles of land, meaning Micronesia is more than 99.9% ocean. So what better place to play host to the inaugural Natural Selection Surf event than this far-flung archipelago of untouched surf. Welcome to the Natural Selection Tour watch party. I'm joined by the great and the good of surfing. I think we'll start with the best looking and most decorated. Over on the far side there, 4-time world champion. If surfing was a monarchy, Lisa Anderson would be the Queen of Florida. Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
Oh, thank you so much for that intro.
And then next to her, we have a human son, Tanner Gadauskas. If you're in his orbit, then he's radiating positive energy.
Yes, that's amazing. Hey, stoked to be here.
Oh, and this man, one of the grandmasters of surfing. He shares his initials with Bruce Lee, and he's got a black belt in bullshit. It's Barton Lynch.
Good to be here, Ed.
Yes,
You're
Barton.
not bad too. You'd be a black belt yourself, mate.
I'm trying. Let's kick off with you. How excited are you about this? Like the froth level I've seen in you in the last couple of days as this builds up has been off the chart.
Yeah, mate. Having been involved from the start of this, more or less, and been behind the scenes, structuring and helping to create something historic, and then being blacked out during the event, not being able to know anything, has been so difficult. And I'm just dying to get the heats underway and to see what happened.
And it's a totally new format, Tanner, for surfing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as a surf fan, I think we're all ready for it. We're ready to receive this new energy and put it on some waves of consequence with some radical surfers. Like, just like Barton was saying, we've all been blacked out, like getting these little teases. So today's going to be so fun to get to watch it.
Lisa, you've spent so much time competing. How much would you have liked to have had a format like this when you're in your prime?
I'll tell you, I would have absolutely loved to have this format. I think this is a dream for a surfer like me that really hated competing. So I would have loved to have an event like this where it was just all about the freedom to surf as you will.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to get into the surfing very, very quickly. But first, if you're new to the universe of natural selection, then this whole competition started in the snowboarding. The idea being Travis Rice got behind it and said, I want Mother Nature as the main character. I want the best athletes in the best location, in the best conditions. And this year, we're seeing a 4-sport expansion. So it started with the surfing in Micronesia about a month ago now. Then it was the mountain biking in New Zealand last weekend. Then we've got the snowboarding from Revelstoke in British Columbia, and we finish with the skiing from Alaska in April. But just so you know, total openness, total clarity, we've got watch parties happening around the world at the moment, but we are watching this for the very first time. As Barton said, it's been a blackout on all of the action. So we're sat in the studio in Santa Monica. We're going to see the action for the very first time here. So, Barton, you've been on site. You've seen Micronesia up close and personal. What's it like as a location?
Well, we're 6,000 miles from there. It was an amazing trip to go down there with Travis and build the portal, see the environment. You feel completely remote. You're way away from everything. There's no other people there. There's absolutely no other surfers. And it is one of the most beautiful places in the world. The water quality, the wave quality, everything about the place is an absolute paradise.
Okay, you've sold it hard. Let's take a closer look at it now.
Located in the Northwest Pacific, Micronesia consists of over 2,000 small islands and atolls. The tropical marine climate is under a constant barrage from trade winds, currents, swell, tides, and typhoons. All of nature's rawest materials make it accessible only to the most intrepid oceanic explorers, presenting endless possibilities for surf. Surfers find themselves dropped here and placed under the watchful eye of surf exploration legend Martin Daly and his Indies trader fleet. The surfers' home base for the event is the Indies Surveyor, a 75-foot exploration boat constructed of marine-grade aluminum alloy. The vessel has a raked bow, transom stern, full keel, and stabilizers fitted with 13 berths. It has a range of 3,000 nautical miles. It is Mad Max certified for surf exploration. Micronesia provides the perfect canvas for the inaugural Natural Selection Surf event.
Mad Max certified. What a line. We got a glimpse there as well of the portal that you talked about earlier. You put some blood, sweat and tears into that.
Oh, we sure did. We, everything was sourced on the island, and we, chopped all this stuff down and found all this driftwood, and it was a mission to get it built, but it was a beautiful part of the event.
We got a glimpse of the wave in all of its glory there, Lisa. It looks like a monster.
Let's talk about the watercolor for a second. I mean, I've never seen a blue that color, not even in a crayon box. Like, that is just an amazing, beautiful place that I would love to visit someday.
And, I mean, it's no joke how remote it is.
Absolutely. I mean, even like seeing that wave as it's coming across the reef, that's an absolute no-fall zone, but you're not even taking into account the raw elements of being so far out there, so exposed to Mother Nature. So let's see some more of that. I don't know, it got my blood pumping.
Okay, Barton, we talked about the surfers, and like you've been in this from the very beginning. Why were they picked? Why are the surfers that are out in Micronesia there? What was the decision-making process?
Obviously, it's a death-defying style wave if it's on, and so we had to find surfers who could handle that. But we wanted to find surfers who were, interesting people, not only great surfers, but people that captured the imagination of the public. We feel like we've got, the greatest field we could possibly have, and it's going to be amazing to see them take to these waves and express themselves in a format that's very different as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty eclectic mix. We can take a look at the bracket now and see how our 8 men and 4 women are divided up. And this is quite interesting. I'm going to ask you each to pick one favourite, a standout for you from this. Let's start with you, Lisa.
I'm going to go for the boy from Mexico, Al.
I'm going to go California kid, Eithan Osborne, all day long.
And the one representing the Bundjalung people of Australia, Solly Bailey, that's my pick.
Okay, you can take a look at this bracket as well, and you can see it's all about winning here. If you win that round 1, session 1, or round 1, session 2, then you go straight through to the semis. Same from round 2. You need to get that winning spot, and you will advance. Let's meet the surfers now, though, in a little more detail.
My name is Alan George Cleland Quiñones. I am from Boca de Pascuales, Tecomán, Colima, mainland Mexico. I'm 22 years old.
My name is Eithan Osborne. I'm from Ventura, California. I am 24 years old.
My name is Harry Bryant. I'm from Noosa Heads, Queensland, Australia. I'm 28 years old.
My name is Kauli Vast. I'm from Tahiti. I'm 22 years old.
My name is Mikey February. I'm from South Africa. I'm 31 years old.
My name is Noah Beshan, 24 years old. I'm from the North Shore of Oahu.
My name is Solly Bailey. I'm from Australia, Byron Bay. I am 29.
My name is Victor Bernardo. I'm from Guarujá, Brazil. I'm 27 years old.
Really eclectic mix of surfers. Why did you pick Al Jr.?
I mean, I've been watching him compete the last few events, and he stood out to me so much. Just like not only his personality, but also just that charge factor in him. The fact that he's just like this never say die type of attitude, and I love that.
He wears that Charger label on his sleeve, doesn't he? Especially
Absolutely.
after the Pipe Pro. What about Eithan?
Well, I mean, every person in the field is going to be amazing. But for me, Eithan is kind of a personal pick. I've seen him grow up. He's been pushing the level the last couple of years. He's a free radical spirit. And you don't really ever know what you're going to get with Eithan, but you know it's going to be like on edge. So I'm excited to see him put it on the line.
Watching Skinny Meathead, he came across to me like a human bar fight. It's just like raw aggression and energy. What about you, Barton?
Oh, well, Solly Bailey I took to Hawaii for his very first trip when he was 13 years old, and we had some older kids on that trip, and every time we go for a surf session, he'd look at the older kids and go, "You better be on your game today, mate, I'm going to smash you." And I always knew that he's a competitor at heart, but now in a free surfing mold as well, and this format is going to suit him, and he's going to be able to calculate his way through heats because he's a smart competitor as well. I think that's still going to come into things.
Already there, we've hit on one of the main themes. I think we've got those competitors who come from wearing a bib, have done their time on the tour or the QS, and then we've got those free surfers. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's take a look now at the women's bracket, where we can see our 4 women going toe-to-toe. So just 3 rounds here because we start with 4. Who stands out to each of you, Lisa?
I'm really excited to see Anda Santos. And knowing that she just competed at the Eddie Cal recently, the fact that she's, going to be charging, I can't wait to see what she brings. I mean, this is a big variety of different types of surfing, so I would love to see how she stands out.
Tanner?
Hometown pick. I mean, this is the pride of San Clemente right here. It's Kira Pinkerton.
And then we have Coco Ho, the oldest in the field, and Mila Coco Brown, the youngest. So between them two, it's a toss-up.
My name is Anita Santos. I'm 23. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Hi, my name is Coco Ho. I'm 33 years old from the North Shore of Oahu, Hawaii.
My name is Kira Pinkerton. I'm 22 years old. I'm from San Clemente, California.
Hi, I'm Mila Coco Brown. I'm 17 years old from the Northern Beaches, Sydney.
I see a theme developing in your picks, Lisa. You've gone for the Chargers.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I feel like this wave is going to, require a lot of charging. From what I can see, just that takeoff itself, you're not going to want to hold back. I think my picks are ones that aren't going to, obviously, from what I've seen from their previous competitions.
I don't want to do anyone a disservice as well. I mean, all of them are Chargers, especially Kira.
Well, yeah. I mean, in her highlight package, that wave at Bank Fault she got a couple years ago, I was actually in the water and saw how she approached the lineup, and it was so calm and collected. So in this new format where it's not just scores, they're like getting judged from the boat all the way back to the boat, I think Kira's going to have a really good shot.
Okay, she'll handle herself. You sat on the fence slightly between the oldest and the youngest.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I just feel like the field is going to be whittled down by the conditions. You know, we saw that in that opening. I saw Coco Ho paddling on the shoulder of one of those massive waves, and it made you realise how big it really was. And so it's going to be a, you know, in a sense, a life or death situation where winning and committing could have serious consequences.
And sometimes the innocence of youth means that you can throw yourself over the ledge and with gay abandon, but then sometimes a bit of experience tells you when to do it and when not to. It's
all about that, isn't it? And we're going to get to see that very soon, and we're so excited, eh?
Absolutely.
Well, Tanner mentioned really quickly there about the judges. So how do you judge a crew of surfers of this kind of caliber and with so many different styles? Well, arguably, you need a panel of their peers. Let's meet the judges now.
This event will change surfing in a very good way.
I think the judging panel being just like older pro surfers has always been the theory we wanted to kind of just have that real like black and white take, like no numbers, no confusion.
I think that surfing's kind of needed something like this for a long time. The natural selection crew have brought in these really iconic characters like throughout surfing.
I mean, if you respect who's judging, then you respect their opinion, so it's like, makes it less of an argument and more of like, if anything, a conversation, or I feel like that's how it should be. I don't know how it's not like that always.
To me, Brad Gerlach is like one of the most iconic surfers the world has seen.
I know this feeling of like the judge is not paying attention. Lots of surfers know that feeling, and I want to see the best of the best, and I don't care where people are from or what their hype is or whatever. When someone does something incredible, I'm like...
Pam Burridge is the most decorated surfer in the whole contest. She has the Sydney Harbor ferry that's named the Pam Burridge.
We know what we know because we've lived and breathed surfing for all these years, and let's see it, and the bar just got lifted.
Crane's one of the best surfers in the world, in my opinion. I know that all these guys really look up to Crane.
As like surfers, you always know who like won the session. There should be a peer judge in every surf event. It's like, who the fuck matters other than the surfers?
If you're surfing good and you want to be on in front of people that you really look up to and admire.
The format's super cool. Go out, get tubed, have fun with your mates, and yeah, have a good time.
That is the most natural way to judge. To look at your friend and go, did you see that?
That was no joke. There's shots fired in that little clip on there. Brad Gerlach, never short of an opinion, Barton. Great judge, surely.
Yeah, he's been, you know, a long-time professional surfer, a long-time coach. He's very technical. He understands technique and style better than most, so he'll be picking things apart and be a great head judge to lead the panel.
And how important is it to have a peer judge in someone like Ian Crane, Tanner?
Oh, I mean, I think that's such a great maneuver and really something fresh. And to pick Ian Crane, I mean, you could literally have him in either one of those heats and it would be a great fit. He can do everything that these guys can. He loves waves of consequence. So that respect level from the competitors to Ian as a judge is going to be revolutionary.
And then Pam Burridge on the end there. She was one of your adversaries, wasn't she?
Absolutely, and I couldn't think of a better peer to judge any of these females, including myself. If I was in this heat, I would want Pam to be the judge. And she's just an inspiration, an iconic surfer, and you know, she's holds her own.
Okay, we heard Coco Ho mention it really quickly in that piece there. There aren't going to be any scores. It's a totally revolutionary judging format. So the judges and the surfers have got to get used to this. It's called Credo. It started in the snowboard side of things, but these are the 5 criteria: creativity, risk, execution, difficulty, overall. They all have even weight. But the key thing is here, we're not going to see a wave score. I mean, that's pretty different. How will that change things, Lisa?
I mean, just the fact that you're going to be completely free to do what you want without any stress. I mean, you're not thinking about a score in the back of your mind or what you need to get or how much it's going to take to win like that. I think it's more just going to be, you know, if you're out surfing, free surfing their friends at this break and you just want to out surf them.
And it doesn't matter whether it's a single wave or 5 waves. It's the impression you make from the moment you jump off the boat to the moment you get back in.
Oh, exactly. It's your intention in the lineup, what you want to see happen, and emotionally connecting to how you're going to do that.
Okay, Barton, what do you make of it?
Well, you know, surfing is an energetic performance, and the judges are connected to the energy, and that energy starts on the boat, the paddle out, the whole performance is something that'll catch the attention of the judges, and it needs to be intense, it needs to be sincere and come from the heart.
While we've been discussing it, you've all mentioned it. It's that classic, you go out for a session with your mates and you all know who surf best. Yep. And that is what we're looking at here. Okay, it's a pretty classic format. We're going to get stuck into the action very, very shortly. We're going to take a quick break first, though.
Flat tires, broken gear, questionable advice. Those are our teachers. Adventure catalyzes discovery. Obstacles forge resilience. Struggle unlocks potential. This is why we go.
When the Hawks need a clean shave, they reach for the Chairman Pro by Manscaped, equipped with skin-safe technology and dual blade heads.
Wonder if my dad's ever had one of these.
Tony Hawk with a mustache. A very different commercial. We ride motorcycles now. Hawk Hogs. Shaken and stirred. Talon.
Injured? So are we. No.
The Chairman Pro by Manscaped.
I was surfing in Indonesia. I was like, wow, so much of what I'm seeing floating in the ocean is packaging. And that's a supply chain that I'm a part of. A New Earth project was born from that. How do we innovate these products in a way that they can find their way into the economy and also support a healthy planet? It's really just all about scale. If we want to solve a global plastic crisis, you got to go to the largest organizations in the world that are packaging the most stuff. Now we are inviting large brands of all shapes and sizes to be a part of this with us. We're focused on healthier, more earth-friendly packaging and do it in an efficient and economical way. The world is waking up to the need for sustainable solutions.
Welcome back to Micronesia. We are on a far-flung atoll, about to watch the first ever natural selection surf event unfold. Joining me in the studio, Lisa Anderson, Tanner Gadauskas, and Barton Lynch. We're sat in Santa Monica, 6,000 miles away from the action, but we're about to get it underway. The only thing we need to do is introduce the 5th and final member of our team. And he was out on site for the entire duration of the competition. He's probably one of the most renowned and infamous members of the surfing community. It's none other than Nathan Fletcher.
All right, we're here. We're at the Natural Selection Surf event, Micronesia. First day of the contest. Super honored to be here to witness what's happening for the progression of, you know, the sport of surfing. Super stoked to see what's going to happen throughout the day. We definitely waited and tried to bring, you know, the viewers and the people the craziest, gnarliest conditions. As we said before, it's progressive surfing and waves of consequence, which I think we have today. We even have, you know, wind that's nuclear. So that being said, we're just going to go throughout the day. We have 2 heats of men and then 1 heat of women.
The hard-boiled hellman himself. We've met the judges, we've met the surfers, but as ever at NST, the star of the show is always Mother Nature. This is our wave.
From the first time I seen a clip of this wave, I was like, wow, this is a dream wave.
The wave is
Crazy.
Fast.
Sketchy.
just rad.
Scary. Firing.
So sick.
Psycho.
Never seen anything like it.
It was a big fucking wave.
Holy shit! That's what's so exciting about coming to somewhere like this. It's all completely brand new to almost everyone that's here. The closest thing that I've kind of been to and that I can relate it to is like Indonesia, but in the ocean, it's got that raw Pacific feel.
It's probably one of the gnarliest, hollowest waves you've ever seen. It's hard to tell what actual size it is because it's just so, just like top to bottom, straight from 100 foot of water to whatever the ledge is, like 5 feet of water.
You just see half the ocean coming at you.
I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. It's probably going to be pretty maybe scary.
Mila Coco Brown looks like a Disney princess, mouth like a pirate. Who knew?
But she accurately describes it with passion because it's a gnarly wave.
There were gasps from you guys watching that. Like, it's the first time you've seen that wave. It's no joke, Lisa.
No joke. I mean, towards the end, I was thinking that looks like a crazy day Akira, like, except over rock or reef, you know? Like, it just was just steamrolling and scary looking. Scary.
Tanner, like, some of the names out there who are saying that this is an intimidating wave, they've surfed some of the heaviest water in the world in the last 12 months.
I was just thinking that, like, you will very rarely hear Sully Bailey say it's going to get scary. Like, that man has a wild eyeball for waves of consequence. And all of them, yeah, they have the humility that they're looking at that setup and seeing that it's a severe pit bull of a slab that is going to have all of their attention.
Talk us through the bathymetry and the geography, Barton, because you've seen the reef, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen the reef, and it's a beautiful reef. It doesn't wrap around. It just runs down along the coastline. And it's very shallow, comes out of super deep water. And traditionally, we would have judged a wave from the back. If you were to judge that wave from the back, there is no back. It's 1 to 2 feet, but the face is 10 to 12 or whatever. So it's a thick, powerful wave. And as we saw in that highlights package then of the waves themselves, they're as perfect as waves get.
Okay, knowing what you know now about the wave, Lisa, I was about to say, who do you think it's going to suit? But yeah, you've already chosen Al and Annie.
I mean, I love all the picks here. Everybody's charges, everybody's, progressive and all that. It'd be interesting to see what types of equipment they use out there. I know a lot of the guys like to mess around with twin fins and, Mikey and Coco in general, like, they're switching up their equipment. And it's doable because they're doing it, because those guys are amazing. I'd love to see if they, switch it up a little bit out there.
Okay, let's take a look at those brackets again now. So you can see Eithan, Osborne in there, your pick, Tanner, from the start. We've got Mikey February, Cowley Vass, the Olympic medalist, and Noah Beshan. 4 very different surfers. The winner of this first, round 1, session 1, will go straight into the semi-finals on the right-hand side of the screen. The 3 remaining go into round 2, and that happens in both of those sessions. And, I mean, I think you said it earlier, Barton, really interesting regular versus goofy here.
Yeah. Three goofies, 3 naturals, and 1 goofy in each of those heats, in the women's as well, which we'll see in a minute. So that's going to be interesting to see how the goofy footers go on their backhand on a wave of this barreling nature.
Yeah, potentially the barrel's not too much of an issue if it opens up for turns. And then we've got the women's here, much simpler. You've got 4 women, and the winner will go straight to the final. The other 3 battle it out for that second spot in the final. And we've said this already, but 4 very different styles in there, Lisa.
Very different styles, different generations as well, but in a great mixture of, their approach to surfing. I know they all are extremely different, but all have the same amount of talent.
Okay, we've got a little bit of tag team going on in the booth here. Lisa's going to tag out for the first one. It'll be Tanner, Barton and I in for the first session. And then we'll mix that up. You can see the weather there, 6 to 10 foot of surf, water and air temperature barely change. Let's throw it back over now to Nathan Fletcher, though.
So what we're expecting to see today from these athletes is, like I said before, some of the craziest, gnarliest waves and surfing performance with their ability is going to be next level. And then also what we're expecting too is a 12:45 high tide, which means the wave's going to slow up and be a lot more rideable. Going into a low tide, I think at 5 something. And as we get into the afternoon, unfortunately for these girls here, it could start stretching and getting super shallow, super hollow, running down the reef. And basically it's just going to be critical to see what these surfers really do today on these waves of consequence.
Waves of consequence, as called by Nathan Fletcher. You know this is serious. It is time now to get stuck into the action. The first ever NST Surf event.
If I have to describe my style, I don't know. Speed, a little bit of power. I'm trying to get it better every time.
You can't really force too much, you know. You get to be in a place, you get to surf a wave, and I guess you just got to do what the wave allows and try and, you know, enjoy them for whatever they have to offer.
My approach to surfing, thoughtless. Just getting my adrenaline going and putting myself in a uncomfortable situation.
I want it to be progressive, and I want to do things differently, use my own imagination instead of replicating other people.
Oh my God.
Pretty excited. I was hoping that my name would be one of the few picked.
Just hearing about like natural selection, being in surfing, just feeling something like fresh and exciting, I'm gonna do it for sure.
Every single opportunity that show up, I'll take it, and yeah, I'm happy to be here now. You just have to have fun, find the rhythm with the ocean.
I'm just gonna try to take off as deep and as late as possible and try to make it exciting.
It's on shallow reef, it's dangerous. Getting hurt scares me.
Be out there, be patient, and just try and give as much as I can and see what happens.
Get the good vibe with everyone, and then yeah, just take the best wave of your life. What else can we ask if we have good waves?
So this is the format. 8 surfers split into 2 heats. There's 4 rounds. It's overall impression, but critically there, you've got no surfing scores coming in. Instead, it's all about the judges' opinions.
Yo, give me some. Let's fucking do this thing. Yeah.
How you feeling? Huh? How's Coley feeling?
Coley is feeling good, bro. Paradise.
Looking good.
I have the helmet on, just send.
How you feeling, Noah?
I'm psyched.
Feel good? Ready?
I feel good. I feel tight in this thing. Fucking yeah.
Looks like you need to wear that thing out at night.
I know, that'd be psyched. Oh, we jumping here? Let's go.
Mikey, how you feeling?
Good.
Good?
Good.
You look good.
We are up and running. An Olympic gold medalist, a spontaneous jazz musician of a surfer. We've got a bar fight, and then Noah Beshan, arguably one of the most versatile surfers in the world. And look at this set piling in.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the way it draws off the reef. Such a perfect. Oh!
Where is the entry on that? Oh, Barton!
Well, you can see everyone trying to find position at this early stage, missing that opportunity there.
They're so spread out.
Yeah, it's a long wave. Goes for hundreds of meters.
Oh my God.
Here we go, Noah Beshan, up and riding.
Somebody's up.
Picks a high line through this one, Tanner.
Wow, what a historical ride right here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, that's more than getting your feet in the wax, I'd say.
Yeah.
That was psycho. Full goosebumps. That was nuts. Let's see the replay on that.
Beshan.
Back that section there, stands tall, has to stall for the second. There was a little bit of, a cautious approach to that one to make sure he got a completion. Obviously, no one's ever competed or surfed in a heat here ever before. That's the first wave ever ridden.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, in a natural selection surf event here, this is the first ever ride going to Noah Beshan, and he's standing tall in a beautiful blue cavern.
Well positioned, such great style, so capable on the face and in the air, and that was a great opening ride.
Low tide at the moment, that's draining off, and it's actually below sea level, isn't it? So the lander angles I know aren't an option in some of these early heats. You can see Cowley there, that Rebel helmet just poking up.
Oh, here we go, you guys. Here's Eithan Osborne.
It's your boy.
What do you think, Barton?
Comes around the section. Look at the whitewater chandeliering. Makes that first section. That was amazing. Sections out, so a shorter ride, maybe not as critical as Noah Beshan's opening ride.
You know, you guys, I have to say we're seeing a lot of wind on the face. This looks like a heavy metal slab here that's affected by that wind. Barton, is this happening all the time?
Yeah, it's quite windy there as we see the replay. And pulls into that section, did really well to make that. Could have easily got clipped by that chandeliering lip and whitewater out of the top, but it does. It's the type of wave. You can see the wind pushing down the coast. As the wave goes further down the line, it cleans up. It starts to bend ever so slightly and get cleaner in the wind the further down you are. Look at the distance between the surfers.
Right, Mikey February on the outside, one of the deepest here. Got a bit of time to start working this now.
Short little cover-up section, and whitewatery on the face, decides to get out. Feels like Noah Beshan might have the opening advantage.
But already you're starting to see the differences in approaches. You know, I would be curious if Mikey's on a twin fin or a thruster here, and it just his line, you know, he's turning, he's trying for barrels as well. Like, we're going to see a lot of different things today.
I think he's on a version of the Channel Islands 2 Happy that he's been working on with Britt Merrick. So I don't know if it's thruster or quad, but I don't.
Look at the wind, 25 knots, they called it, and it is, I think Nathan Fletcher referred to it as nuclear. This wave looks nuclear.
So it's a 60-minute session. All we're cutting out here is the gap between the sets. Eithan Osborne back up and riding. This one's lining up.
Driving from deep. Oh! Catches the edge. Was never going to make that one, maybe.
Barton, you know what I wanted to say? You could tell when Eithan was paddling into the wave, the way that the wind sweeps from the back of it, as you're paddling to get a takeoff, you're basically going over moguls, which can be either a very steep drop or something quite mellow.
And you can get an advantage of it chipping you in and giving you speed, or you can get stuck up on it or behind it and slowing down off the takeoff. Pumping.
Yeah, building so much speed there.
And you can see it walling. We saw it in the end. It closes out on him. And that's why he was driving it early, because he knew there was so much walling. That one ends up in the lip. Lucky sort of flicked that board out, didn't get into the lip and get sucked over with it.
I mean, on his highlight reel, he said he was going to go as deep as he could and go on anything he could. So he's on the credo.
I love that thoughtless surf.
Yeah, that was a great quote, wasn't it? Look at the size of that one.
Mindless surf violence from Eithan Osborne. Back again. The wave count stacking for him.
Stalling, nice section here. Another, not deep in the tube. This is going to be interesting, because while everybody is going to get barrels, the length and the difficulty in those barrels is going to count, but also the maneuvers after it are going to be that cream on top.
But Barton, to your point earlier, you were talking about, you know, connecting to the emotion of the surfer. We, as a viewer and a commentator, we can already see that Eithan's hungry, right? Like he's all over this lineup. He's trying to ride every single wave that he can, and it's hard not to feel like he's in some form of a lead.
There's a sense of urgency and purpose, isn't there?
And that's where, you know, this format and the judging comes into play, because it's the overall impression. So at the moment, Eithan's got 3 rides, as we see the replay again, that are all pretty good, but maybe the best single ride goes to Noah Beshan. So there's this calculation in the judge's mind as to what is the most difficult and will be the most rewarded. It's quite tight between those two at the moment.
Fascinating, because Noah was first up. It's hard to find that scale, isn't it? But the longer we go on, the more impressive that looks.
Oh boy.
Mikey February
No.
and Noah Beshan.
Wow.
Noah looking very tidy though. Lovely little cut back on the end there.
And again, there was no impediment to the potential of the inside surfer's ride. His ride was completed when the other surfer took off. As we see Mikey from super deep, backdooring. This might be the best tube ride of the heat so far. We see there, Noah Beshan.
I mean, 2 fantastic rides. I mean, Mikey was incredibly deep up the point there.
That's going to mean something, isn't it?
And this one on the replay from behind, little doggy door, tiny little exit, so well executed. Noah on his second ride, another good tube ride. This is tight. And again, gentlemen's rules. At the start of the heats, they drew for priority. Now it's just taking turns, just like a free surf would. And we can see the distance. It's a long reef break, so a lot of space for people.
Well, BL, you and I, here we go. I was just thinking, where's our goofy foot in the lineup? And Kaoli right here out the back.
Oh, difficult one.
Oh, see, that's so difficult on your backhand to be able to set that line, slow yourself down, and enjoy the barrel.
And it's 30 minutes or so, you know, already into the heat, so he waited a really long time for that one, and it looks, given the chandeliering nature of these waves, it looks super difficult on the backhand today, Tanner.
But look, this is Kaoli Voss. Like, this guy's at the top of the game. He's familiar in heavy water. This would kind of feel pseudo like home coming from Tahiti. He'll make it happen.
And he's got that mad contest confidence at the moment. Everything he's touching turning to gold.
Oh, doubling up on the outside here, paddling.
Mikey back in.
Oh, so Mikey's starting to get a little bit of rhythm here after that nice barrel. He kind of opens up on a, wow, great turn.
Look at that.
Oh. Little incomplete and a bit messy at the end of that one.
I wonder if that's got to be categories. If you're thinking, am I pulling in? Am I doing turns? Like, is it an advantage? Or is that sometimes a little bit confusing to you as you take off on these waves?
And again, you've got to be so in yourself. You can't be thinking about what the judges want to see. This is a different type of event, isn't it? And you don't really know what they're going to love or like. You know they're going to love good surfing as Mikey goes straight down onto the reef.
It was almost like he changed his mind mid-turn, wasn't he? Tried to get back up on his toes. Couple of big sets rolling through.
Catching everyone inside.
Yeah, Kaoli along. Oh, Cowley's in there, yes!
Nice.
Drops down, snaps out of the top, beautiful backhand turn. Needs a tube ride to match the natural footers, doesn't get it on that one.
So BL, give us a little insight here on this lineup. Like, what would the difference of these rides that we're seeing be ridden on the inside versus where Mikey was taking off on that barrel way out the back?
I think, you know, from an energetic point of view, the deeper someone is on the lineup, the more you would feel good about it as a judge. You're like, they're deep, they're charging, just like this one. Woo!
Oh, is this Mikey?
Yeah, again.
Mikey's all over it today. Zero fear factor as he's mixing up. Nice barrel comes out, sets it up again. So twice as nice.
This is what? Okay, let's put ourselves in the judge's position. Who have you got on your scorecard at the moment?
I mean, for me, Mikey Febbs, after that last wave, you can't really argue the fact that he's all over the lineup.
Yeah, and there's a beautiful mixture of tube rides. The previous tube ride was super deep, super technical. This one was really nice, but then the turns as well. So he's mixed it up and shown our judges a bit of everything. There's that beautiful style that we're so used to seeing from Mikey February. I wondered whether in these sorts of waves he would have enough grunt in the surfing and the personality to match it. He's showing that he does.
Well, you've heard him say a couple of times through, I think it was in Changing Tempo, he just said, you know, I am competitive. I've been there. I know how to wear a bib, and it's showing now. He's taken the judge's assignment, and he's understood it. He's going deeper than anyone else, and he's finding those waves.
Look at the wind factor that's playing in here.
Oh.
Eithan, that must feel like he's paddling in a piahi.
Yeah, and
that's
he's lost
incredible.
his rhythm. He had the early rhythm, didn't he? And now it's kind of fallen apart a bit. And Mikey was slow out of the start, built his rhythm, so super interesting.
Well,
when you've got an hour, all sorts of things can happen.
Oh, look at this!
Oh my goodness, there's no entry there where Eithan is. Noah! Go! Oh, Barton, how difficult is that?
How did he hold on there?
Go!
Oh!
Crazy inside. Jumped at the exact right time, early enough.
That was a Leviathan out of the deep.
Wow.
Absolute monster there.
Eithan
Oh
deep.
my goodness.
Go!
No!
Go! Is he making
He's still there?
Wow!
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Let's see what the judges think.
I don't know if he made it. It looked like these guys think he did. But that thing was crazy. Yeah, he might have doggy-doored it. I don't know.
He 100% made it, judges.
Noah's might have been a little heavier off the takeoff, but
So this is back to Noah's wave. That two-wave succession.
Well, the second section looked makeable for a while, but then that bit fell and you went, no. He got out at the right time.
Barton, as you go to the land angle, it really shows the tooth on this inside section as they pull in. You can see it getting look at that.
Oh, that was incredible. Look at the size of it too. It's below sea level. He was so deep. I can't believe he made it. That takes him into the lead, does it not, Tanner?
Oh, 100%. I mean, Eithan here is...
Best wave of my life! Holy fuck!
Did Eithan make that last wave?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He made that thing. That was a 10.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Mine's pretty blowing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Then I'm giving it to him.
Yeah, so Ian Crane called it.
Yeah. There you go.
What an exchange right at the close. We can take a quick look, recap some of those classic waves, but what an opener. That was heavy.
I mean, BL, when is the last event you're hearing waves of your life go down in your heat?
In the very first heat of the day, Noah Beshan started off so well. All four surfers, Carly was a little out of sorts in that heat. All three of the natural footers surfed so well, got super barreled. Mikey had a period there where it looked like he was going to take the heat, but I think at the end, Eithan's incredible wave that Crano said might have been a 10 in a traditional sense was definitely a perfect sort of ride.
One wave for Cowley Vast.
Yeah.
And he couldn't make it stick.
If it was clean and simple, sure on the backhand, but as a goofy footer in those conditions, they are tough conditions to be riding the tube backhand.
It's so unforgiving. But honestly, the commitment level from every surfer here was at the top level.
Okay, this is a tough call though, and we can get in before the judges. Is it Eithan or Mikey? That's what it feels like.
I mean, you knew I had Eithan as my pick from the very beginning.
Eithan.
Okay, let's see if you're right, boys.
You want to hit it, Gary?
We collectively think Eithan won. Really close between him and Noah, but Eithan's last wave sealed it.
Okay.
And maybe Mikey's tubes were a little conservative, not quite as challenging, a little slopier on the face, those waves.
Okay, so Eithan Osborne will advance straight to the semi-finals. Let's see what the surfers made of it, though.
I think that was like the best wave of my life.
We got a best wave of a life coming in.
I think so. Dude, that thing felt pretty crazy.
I just saw the takeoff and I was like, that's a straight closeout. And then he came back, he told me he made it. I was like, wow.
I got Eithan's wave square on my head too.
Okay.
So that was cool.
We can't see from down here, so tell us what Eithan's wave was like.
Oh, you guys can't see?
Not really.
So they were like set, like my wave and his wave were sets, and there's a couple sets that came in before, but we all pushed out on them. And then those last two came in, and my wave was like so doubled up, like super choku vibe, like on the floor. I took off and I like just made it under the lip, and I pulled in, and then I came through chandelier, and I was like, whoo! And then I saw the section stretching, and I pumped into it, and I was like, oh, I'm way too deep, and I jumped. And then I got smoked, sucked over, slammed my ass on the reef, got smoked, thinking about maybe I shouldn't have jumped. I'm still tripping out about that, I gotta see the clip. And then I come up and I see Eithan's fucking wave right on my head.
every now and again there was a really good one. I think that set that Noah and Eithan got was the best. Like, I had the perfect view of both of their first sections, and it was pretty. Those are just the best waves that came through. We kind of had to just be patient and hope for something that cleaned up. Yeah.
Wow. That was really heavy. We'll take a breath now. This is the bracket, so you can see Eithan Osborne straight into the semi-finals. Mikey, Cowley and Noah all going into that round 2, session 1. We're going to be bringing you round 1, session 2 very shortly with Solly Bailey, Victor Bernardo, Alan Cleland and Harry Bryant. Right decision, boys?
Right decision, mate. Felt right to us.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's... what we talked about, all of that judging, it feels quite complicated. It feels a little involved when you're talking about it, but when you see it in action, it's who won the session.
Yeah, and you get a feel for it as surfers. You know how it happens in a free surf, and that's basically what they're doing here.
Yeah, and it was interesting because we were thinking Mikey Phelps. However, those guys had a big emphasis on the size of the set waves, and Noah getting the first one before Eithan, you know, we kind of didn't take that into consideration. That was a heavy metal wave, and so the judges must have been affected by that and said, hey, he committed on that ride, whether he made it or not.
Yeah.
And potentially it's a barrel wave. They're rewarding the barrels at this stage.
Absolutely. Oh, well, and it's all, when you look at it, the turns are kind of whatever in contrast to those throaty heaving big sets on the reef. As we heard Noah Beshan say, it's exactly like Chopo, but 4 times longer and going the other way.
That is, I mean, when you hear it like that, and just watching Noah there as well, like he was so high on adrenaline, you get, it's seeping through the screen at you, isn't it?
Yeah, couple things. Great that we're hearing the judges' insight. That's insane. And then to get the surfers right after their heat, like you can't get a more raw feeling from a person rather than them just paddling back to the boat and being like, I just got smoked by Eithan's wave, or I shouldn't have jumped, I should check the clip. Like he hasn't even seen that ride yet himself. So it was really cool insight to see that.
Barton, you were going to say something then? Or were you just...
Oh, I'm just so excited to see this thing running and to see the performances, to see the judging, the way that was working. It's on track, and we're all very excited to see this next one. Get it on.
Yeah, we're going to get stuck into that very shortly. Before we do, though, one of the partners that Natural Selection's teamed up with from the very beginning, you've been a part of from the very beginning, a New Earth project.
Yes.
Talk us through it a little bit. What is it and what do they do?
A New Earth project is an initiative of Atlantic Packaging, which is the largest privately owned packaging company in North America. And Wes Carter, the owner, realised he was the problem. He was creating the plastic, the supply chain packaging. And he thought, well, if I'm the problem, maybe I can be the solution. And so they've gone about reinventing the supply chain, reinventing packaging. They've done it with surfboards, as we can see here. No plastic in surfboards packaging anymore, all completely curbside recyclable. And it's an amazing initiative, and great that surfing is such a big part of this push to rid our world's oceans, rivers and lakes of plastics.
Okay, and I mean, a lot of the major brands starting to use this now, aren't they?
Yeah, all the major brands. Everyone's going to be coming to use it. You know, you imagine wrapping all that bubble wrap on your board nowadays. You know, it's an insult. So, yeah, they're doing great things.
Okay. Well, we're going to get the second heat underway, second session underway very, very shortly. Barton, you're tagging out for Lisa, I think, on this one. But
no. I'll watch it from back there.
Okay, we'll see you very shortly with session 2 of Natural Selection Surf. We're going to chuck over to Nathan now, though. This 6 to 10 foot. Wind is the big thing that we've been keeping an eye on, 25 miles an hour. But interestingly, as the wave hits the reef...
Right now, we're just seeing the very beginning of the event. So I did see one ride where I couldn't even talk to the camera because it was just so insane. I couldn't help but look. And I hope it keeps you people on the edge of your seat, just like I've already been on the edge of my seat. And what the day will bring is definitely something that I can't wait to see.
Nathan, let's go and find out a little more now about our surfers in session 2.
How would you describe your style?
I don't know. Like a cat on acid.
I've always put my heart on my sleeve. I've always put my flag on my chest. I've always done everything to show everybody that, you know, Mexico does have the talent.
I'm definitely not a competitive surfer by any means. I'm not a cookie cutter, straight, 3 to the beach surfer. I'm pretty raw and sporadic.
Competing is sick, but free surfing, having fun and not having that pressure feels much better. I'm Brazilian, man. I have the blood of wanting to win, of course.
My relationship with competitive surfing, like, you know what, I kind of realized towards the end of it that it wasn't making me happy. Like, I was sort of burnt out on the whole side of things of competing. I'm pretty excited to see how something different turns out, and I'm stoked to be a part of it.
Natural selection, when I heard they were basically moving into surf, my ears were pricked up straight away. Feeling that, like, just that excitement, that's what you strive towards, like, being a surfer.
I was really on the inside just hoping, wishing it would happen, and when it happened, I was very, very excited about it.
It could be something that's going to change the rest of surfing history.
Like, we're all kind of getting a chance to do what we love doing, which is like showing our art form in surfing. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to getting really barreled.
I just want to fucking really send it and prove everybody in the world of surfing that shit's gonna go down.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is the format. 8 surfers. They're in 2 sessions across 4 rounds. We've got 2 heats, and then it's semis and finals. Let's get stuck into the second session.
All right, Victor, you're getting ready for your first heat. How you feeling?
All sorts of motions right now. The waves are pumping. I saw guys from the first heat getting super barreled, so I'm excited, and that's what I want. I want to get barreled.
How you feeling before your first heat in the event?
Oh, I'm feeling fired up. I'm gonna get to surf with fucking a good crew of friends, and hopefully a couple of big sets come in and fucking we go off.
It's nuts out there. Where it's all we hoped for, you know. It's kind of, you know, there's a little bit of wind. It's pretty hectic. We've seen some really crazy waves today. They're the sort of waves you can't put a number on. They're the sort of waves that you would call the waves of your life. And I'm psyched to see. Hopefully, we all get a chance at one, and we all make them, because it's firing.
Feel good. I had a little warm-up session this morning. Got a nice little wave under my belt, and I'm feeling good.
He's out of here.
All right.
Okay, we've got 3 full-blooded competitive surfers in Solly Bailey, Victor Bernardo, and Al Cleland Jr. They've all spent time in a bib. Harry Bryant, self-confessed the outsider there in terms of competition experience, but he's also the only goofy footer up and running now in the second session. And it's Al Cleland Jr. first up.
I mean, Ed, now that we're able to kind of settle into the format and the conditions, it's cool to see these guys. This is a great fresh crew right here and a great matching within the 4 of them. Harry bringing in that goofy foot like you're saying, but he has a very raw approach to things, whether it's a bigger surfboard that allows him in earlier or a deeper positioning. And here we see Victor Bernard kind of possibly getting something from the inside, which we know has the potential to get a score too.
Just standing up through that first section, trying to line up the barrel. It's a taster. I like to call that dog's bum sniffing time.
What type of board was he riding just then? It looked a little bit not like a thruster there.
Oh, here we go. Here's Harry Bryant. So the thing I feel like I'm noticing here on the backhand approach is that you do have a better shot at a crisp turn. However, like dropping the e-brake to get a barrel is going to be a lot harder once you're engaged with turning. And Lisa, to your point, I think that's got to be an album board that Victor's riding. I wouldn't know what the fin setup is on it.
Yeah, I thought I recognized it. I was just curious because, I mean, like I said earlier, there could be a lot of different equipment.
Oh, here you go, Lisa. Who's this?
Here we go, Al.
Lisa's pick.
He's a cat on acid, right? I love hearing all the enthusiastic comments in the background. So good.
Oh, my goodness. That must be another one of those sets, Ed.
Absolutely heaving.
Oh, my God.
Through that shallow section of the reef.
Oh, he's good, he's good.
Who was that?
That was Sully.
That
was a heavy wave, man.
That was the heaviest wave. That was the heaviest wave ridden so far.
Oh,
That was Waves are pretty key.
What was that thing?
He was so far up.
This is Al.
Okay, let's take another look at this.
Okay, so it looks like Al here, possibly on the first ride. I'm not sure if Sully got one behind it, but Al is so innate in tube riding. He's able to adjust himself with those little critiques and make sure he's maximizing his tube time. He has a supernatural ability to find the right wave and get as deep as you possibly can. So possibly that's what I'm thinking is we saw Sully going over the falls there in the background. I'm not sure, do you guys see that?
I missed it.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yes, make no mistake that Sully would be on the set wave of the day.
Wow.
The guy is like that.
Yeah. Well, those two, both of them were out there hunting for that, weren't they? We saw before that Victor and Harry both kind of take something, one of the smaller set waves, but those boys just waiting for these absolute giants.
Lisa, what's your thought on that? Like, if you know a set wave like that is in the water and you're in a heat, are you going to take the time to sit out the back and wait for that, knowing it's going to be pretty heavy to get it? Or do you kind of do you kind of get a little rhythm going underneath?
I'm just thinking, is this third party? Because I don't know if I would be out there choosing the biggest wave looking at these conditions, but in this situation, yes, you definitely want to let someone just go to get, to establish the heat. I think I would definitely be like on the second or third.
Solly Bailey is furthest.
Oh, what a nice little inside pocket right there. Look at it. As it goes to the inside, you can tell it gets cleaner and cleaner. Yeah, it's interesting, Lisa, because I think to your point, like, these waves on the set are challenging for every single surfer in the world, and to know that you're going to have the priority, you're going to have the lineup, it's coming to you, do you really want it?
Yeah.
You got to be like, oh, that's a very honest approach.
Well, we talked about it at the very beginning. Everything you do when you get off the boat is counted by the judges. The fact that Solly was even throwing himself into that, prepared to go over the falls, and then he's come right to the almost, well, it's not the shoulder, is it? But
what a bizarre place to take. The wave almost looks like a rip current out the back because there's so much wind across it. Harry doing a great job. Hey, again, that's going to be the curse of the good foot today. It's just so raw that all of those micro adjustments you're going to have to do in the barrel are going to be really hard.
I want to see him just pull a hand plane out the back of his shorts. Okay, let's take a look at the replay on Harry's wave. Gets that.
Yeah, so you can see as he pops over that foam ball, he's looking to reset and maybe slow down for this next section, and his front foot must have just slipped right off of the board, and there's nothing you can really do there. You're so low already that you're just going to slide right off.
He gets fully frog squashed, doesn't he?
Oh.
It wasn't for a lack of commitment, though.
Okay, few waves on the board. Feels like Solly Bailey, definitely at the moment. Maybe.
Yeah, like Lisa, what's your gut feeling on this heat as it's transpiring? Who do you think would be leading?
I think it's the man we're watching now.
I think for sure, and I think it's like the way you read a wave, like that just is going to stand out a lot too, because that's one of the hardest things to do is to choose a wave. Like, which one do I go on? And these guys are all in the same boat as far as not surfing here before, so it makes it pretty fair.
Solly, Harry, Victor. Solly feels like he's the busiest at this stage, up and riding again.
That was pretty sick. Lip, copper lip lash.
Yeah. Yeah, Solly's been everywhere so far. He's taken off one of the deepest, and then he's got that lovely little runner from the outside.
You know, if you look back on the year Sully's had, he really puts himself in conditions that would be akin to this. You know, he's a heavy water specialist, and he loves a good right-hand point break that's barreling. So I bet he would be enjoying himself, you know, making the most of it.
Okay, closer look at VB's board.
Yeah, it looks like something progressive, but smooth, so smooth.
Okay, Harry Bryant right out the back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Harry's definitely going to put it into some critical spots. Again, Harry, no slouch when it comes to waves that are going to kill you, basically. I mean, he loves it. He kind of revels in it. And, man, he's looking good. He's looking spicy on the backside turns.
Tagged it.
Decent ride.
Super difficult with those chops and bumps. And It's, you know what it's going to be like out there. You're like, how in the heck are you going to like hold a rail through those chops?
I mean, we were talking about it earlier too, like, to your point, as you take off, it's got to be really disorienting to not know what the wave's gonna do, because the wind, as it rips through the wave, as it's going down the reef, it changes the personality. So it might look good and then change to a closeout. It might look like a closeout, like Eithan was saying, and then it opens it up. So, I mean, I think that would allow for those waves of your life.
So really quick exchange here. VB straight to Solly Bailey. Beautiful bit of work. Again, Solly Bailey just so busy, start to finish. He wants into it all.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's absolutely loving it out there. All right, here we go, you guys. This looks like Victor Bernard as... Did we miss this wave?
No, he was on the wave beforehand. So we're getting a replay of both him and Solly. Just cruising through that. That board almost, you called it smooth. It's really...
It looks so smooth. It fits perfectly on that wave. I mean, and the drone footage is absolutely amazing.
And then Solly wrapping that one. Just getting tumbled, rumbled by the white water.
There's a lot of courage to spin around on one of these big ones.
Okay, just over halfway through the 60 minutes. Only the winner advances to the semi-finals here. The other three are going straight into the second session.
If you watch all of these surfers, all four surfers looked like they were paddling in, essentially. They looked like they were paddling back to the boat, and I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a current that's running through the lineup as we see Al get another great ride. Yeah, it's an interesting point, because you would have the wind pushing from your back, yet the current pushing you from the bay to the tip, and that's got to be pretty bizarre.
Well, how is that one behind him?
Hands on head. What was I thinking? I should have gone for the next one. Decent barrel there, though. Just escapes that guillotine of a lip as well.
Yeah, at least I mean, when we're seeing that drone footage, all the different angles, this feels more like a surf movie than a webcast, actually.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. The color blue is crazy, huh?
So Al Cleland Jr. with a couple of waves to his count now, but it feels to me 20 minutes left that Solly Bailey's got the lead. VB paddling in though.
Oh, there we go. You know, Victor, to me, when we were looking at the list of surfers before this event, I was most excited to see how he would approach it. We know we've been talking about his album Surfboards. He definitely is open-minded to a different approach, and when you throw that onto Waves of Consequence, it can be a really good thing. And it looks like he's finding his feet, right?
It's so exciting watching him surf for me, because I mean, it's refreshing to learn a lot more for me to watch this event, and I'm learning and taking notes as I'm watching the surfing.
Yeah, if you're wondering what you're watching, this is a 60-minute heat, but VB up and riding. All we're chopping out of this, all that we haven't seen are the gaps between the sets, and they are between 15 and 20 minutes. VB with another one there. He's getting busy towards the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like we talked about in the last heat. Does that start to create that impact on the judges? You know, he's kind of telling a narrative. He's riding a lot of waves. He's getting barrels. Here we go. Harry, who would have a bit more of a anchored out approach. Oh, what a nice line there.
Measured that perfectly.
My goodness, as that wave just rifles down the reef.
And that was a meteor wave too. That thing had teeth.
So I know from Harry, that's a T. Patterson, I think, and that would be a shortboard he's on. You know, it's kind of interesting to see, like, these waves from the beach angle, they look 8 foot, 10 foot square. So the entries, if they're riding smaller boards, must be somewhat achievable. You know, I don't want to say easy by any means, but if the wind is at your back and you're able to push over that pool coping, it might give these guys that ability to ride less rail line and therefore slow down in the barrel.
First couple of waves he had, that board did look a little bit twitchy, didn't it, as well?
Look right at home there, though.
Look at that, that's the first one. 2 barrels. Pulls back up in here.
So honestly, like when I'm watching this, I'm thinking like, okay, in Micronesia or anytime you're surfing a slab, you're seeing the exit as a surfer, right? And so that was so beautiful that we had the drone angle coming from behind it. You can tell Harry, he's not able to pull out. There's no channel. So he's really committed, and you have to ride the wave and essentially doggy door onto dry reef.
Okay, that is the buzzer. Let's take a look back at some of those waves. Not as clean cut as session one, I don't think. Had some great waves though. Harry Bryant getting into one of the first ones. But VB definitely made his presence felt.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this has just been cool. It's so many different approaches. VB almost looks like he's on a step up. Sully riding basically anything subterranean in the water he's ready to go on.
And then your pick as well in there, Lisa. Al Cleland Jr. had a couple of beautiful waves.
Such great surfing. The lines he's drawing, I noticed that a lot of the guys are having to straighten out on waves, not even be able to kick out the back because of the way the wave's breaking.
Okay, where do we go on this? What do you think?
I personally think Harry Bryant.
Lisa?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Harry too.
Okay. We're going to find out very shortly from the judges as the riders make their way back to the boat. Certainly celebrating that one.
I'm kind of happy to still go with Solly's. So bad for Solly. Well, because he also had that one that was like that big one section where he backdoored it and then stood tall and then busted through the crazy chandelier. Super neat. And did a nice carve after to go with the other one.
Yeah, which sort of matches Harry's wave just then. Harry's wave just then might have been a bit better than that one you're talking about, but with Solly's like heroic thing.
Yeah, because in Harry's other best wave was just that three-turner.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I think Sully would go.
I like the idea of rewarding the go for it thing anyway, because I think that's what we're here for.
Okay, it's confirmation there. Solly Bailey takes the heat. So we talked about that attitude at the very beginning, and the judges have taken that into account.
Yeah, you definitely need to go for it. Obviously, that's what's being judged the most is this like that attitude of just going for it.
Some really violent floggings, like, yeah, Solly cut his arm open, I pulled my back out. Some of the gnarly, scariest wipeouts, and some waves that came through too. I got one on the head that was just like, I thought I was gonna die. This is what you wanted, carnage, and you're copping it.
Well, looks like Solly, the winner, copped it. We're waiting to get it.
You win just making straight closeout, taking off on closeouts. It's fucking scary out there. It is. It's dead set, drawing off the reef like Chopes and running like Kira. So I'm stoked to be here. I'm stoked to have had a session with all my mates and everyone's not injured or you know, whatever.
How exciting. Well, good show. Al Cleland Jr.
The verdict is the waves are pumping. The wind seemed like it just got better. And I don't know, it's fucking set to be a good rest of the day.
Well, I had the craziest vision of Sully airdropping and pulling into the biggest bit, and I didn't see how he felt, but he said it was like one of the gnarliest. If he made that, it would have been one of the gnarliest waves of his life, so that says it all right there. It's insane out there. I obviously didn't catch any of the big ones. I was kind of just trying to find pace and get my feet on the wax and I don't know, get some waves, but yeah, I didn't see it like a way into those ones. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Sideways, wind was super on it. And then I found a couple ones on the inside, which I was stoked on, so that was it.
Well, Solly Bailey took the win. He also paid the heaviest price. You can see here, a bit of work in the medical tent. Looks like he's going to get some stitches on that left arm.
I just got chills. That wipeout, right, was the one we saw?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, and what a testament to these guys. They're so exposed to the raw elements, but you know, you do want to put it on the line when you're it's like a, you know, that's in the credo as well. You want to prove it to your peers that you're ready to go and beyond the most heavy, gnarly wave.
Okay, this is what the bracket looks like now. So, Solly Bailey and Eithan Osborne already through to the semi-finals. Mikey February, Cowley Vast and Noah Beshan going to battle it out in round 2, session 1, then round 2, session 2. VB, Al Cleland and Harry Bryant get their second bite of the cherry to try and make it through to the semi-finals. Already had some heavy waves, and when those kind of chargers start talking about how scary and frightening the waves are, it's legit. It's no joke.
My mouth has definitely dropped watching a lot of those waves, and I just can't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's such a difference of being a couch quarterback, right? We're in here like kind of analyzing what we can, but to hear it from those guys when they get right out of the water, and the majority of them saying, like even VB saying, hey, there was sets out there, I didn't really see an entry point to them. Solly just taking grenades on that one from deep. You just know that it's just so high stakes, and they would be able to ride those waves. They specialize in that kind of stuff. So it's still challenging to them. It's actually radically exciting.
If there are any questions around the judging as well, Lisa, it feels like they've been answered by what we've seen there.
For sure. I mean, I know those guys are just picking apart those waves and coming to the conclusion that the person that's charging the most and taking the risk and really like surfing to that criteria is going to get through.
And Tanner, I mean, you look at that. Do you see? It feels like it's really open in both of the men's second sessions there.
But they're great heats. I mean, almost they just, no matter what, it's just getting better and better and better to watch. I mean, that first heat, I'm going to say, like Noah Beshan, he charged, and if he had made that wave just like Eithan, that could have swapped things. And Harry, as a goofy foot, for him to put that much of a performance down is incredible. And so, like Alan was saying right at the end there, it looked like the winds were getting better. It should feel like the conditions improving, and who knows, but I mean, that only would mean more waves of our lives. So it's a win-win around here.
Okay, we're going to head to the break very quickly. Before we do, though, we want to say a massive thank you to all of the Industry Alliance who've been supporting natural selection. They support us, so please support them. Quicksilver, Roxy, O'Neill, Channel Island Surfboards, Lost, Vans, all of those guys, thank you so much. We're going to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first round of the women's.
WaveKey is the most powerful surf training program in the world. It's the martial art-like focus on slow, precise movements that builds your awareness on exactly how to move your body to control the surfboard, no matter what wave you're riding.
Hey Brad, just been practicing all the WaveKey backside air drills last week and did this in the water. I'm stoked.
The philosophy is simple. Practice on land, play in the water.
Welcome back to the Western Pacific, Micronesia to be specific. This tiny coral atoll was home to Martin Daly and 12 of the world's best surfers for just over, I think it was 2.5, 3 weeks, was it?
That was the potential window was that long. Yeah, they got a swell kind of right in the middle of the window.
And boy, what a swell it was. We've had our first taste of it with the men's sessions 1 and 2. We're about to get stuck in to the second set of action. It is the women's session. Quick thank you as well for decking us out today. Rourke Apparel, official supplier for Natural Selection Surf. I've got to say, you're looking pretty dapper in this, Barton.
I think you look like a rug or a quilt that we lay on the ground, mate.
If I wasn't attached, I would do. I'd let you rest your feet on me. Looking very good over there as well, Lisa.
Thank you to Rourke.
Okay, let's take a look at the women's bracket now and see how these women line up. We've got 3 rounds in the women's. There's 4 in the men's because we've got 8 athletes. In the women's, there's just 4. So you take a look at them now. Coco Ho, Kira Pinkerton, Mila Coco Brown and Annie Dos Santos going toe-to-toe in this first round. And it feels, you mentioned it, Barton, age versus experience to a degree.
Yeah, full spectrum of, the oldest in the event, Coco Ho, all the way down through to the youngest, 17.
Okay, still got that 6 to 10 foot surf and 25 miles an hour of wind, but we heard Alan Cleland say earlier that wind is dropping.
All these girls send it, and yeah, it'll be fun to get to push each other, and someone's gonna get the wave of their life. Or all of us are gonna get the wave of our life.
There's Annie. Annie's shooting and booting.
Good job out there.
Thank you. Good luck.
I've always loved big waves. I love charging. Yeah, I kind of want to just put myself out there and see what happens.
I love competing. I get to be in an environment with people that, are really good and are really onto it, so it kind of makes me step up to that level.
I never announced retirement, I guess, as a competitive surfer when I left the tour, because I do still care and would want to throw on the jersey in situations like this. My theory right now with competitive surfing is just stay ready all the time.
I'm definitely a very competitive person, but this comp is like a perfect in-between of where I can still be competitive but do the free surf side of it as well. So it kind of just lined up perfectly with my goals for this year.
The coolest thing about this event is it's very off the grid. A lot of people don't even know where we are.
I just heard it was in a super remote location and there was epic waves. I said straight away, that's exactly where I want to be.
Everyone who's been invited to this event, I've always looked up to in their surfing, and to know that we're going to be surfing some solid waves with some bigger barrels is just pretty awesome.
It's a pretty sick crew of people. Doing a comp with them, and not just a normal comp, but it's like a fun comp where you pretty much just get barreled and have fun. Yeah, I'm super excited for what's to come.
Okay, quick refresh on the format. It's a 60-minute heat. The top place surfer will advance straight through to the final. There are no numerical scores, though.
How you feeling, Annie?
Feeling good.
Yeah, you're
Excited.
looking good.
Thank you.
Helmet, impact vest. I feel like there's no doubt you're gonna charge.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere, so I'm like, whatever can help me helps.
Are you excited to surf with Coco?
So excited. I had her in my heats at Pipe, and it was so much fun.
How long have you been watching Coco surf?
Since I could understand what surfing was. I remember when I met her for the first time, I was tripping, and I still am every time I see her. I'm still tripping when I'm surfing with her. It's so sick.
Excited.
I'm way too excited.
Way too excited.
Waiting for that adrenaline to kick in, and then it's gonna be crazy.
Okay. Women getting in the water for the first time must be pretty nerve-wracking, Lisa, considering what they've watched unfold in the 2 sessions before them.
I'm a nervous mom for sure right now, but I'm so excited for them and look how far women's surfing has come to this point. I'm so proud of them.
Okay. Barton?
Yes, mate.
Your pick? You've got Mila Coco Brown. Why?
Yeah, just because of that sort of bold, brash attitude that she has. What the judges have shown us already in those first 2 sessions of the men is that you must charge. You don't need to make them even. The bigger, the more difficult, the more complicated that you attempt, the better the judges are going to like it. So I feel like Brown has got everything she needs in attitude to make that happen.
Okay, Annie Dos Santos, first surfer up and riding.
That's Annie.
Comes around this section, looks and just jumps quick as it runs off, and white water on the face there, so most probably a good idea. Big set approaching.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching from downstairs.
Coco up and riding, threading that one. Oh!
Nice.
Yeah. She got clipped on the way out, right?
Did she fall?
I think she got hit by the wave on the way.
Here we go on the replay. Nice little section, drove from behind, but you see the way the lip pushed the board back towards her. That was a dangerous situation. First real tube of the women's sessions, coming from deep, and then finds that perfect little exit, but then gets clipped, but you call that a make.
Yeah, I was going to say Coco is the most technical surfer for me. Like, she's got so much technique.
Yep.
So much fun to watch.
Mila Coco Brown.
Mila Coco out the back.
Fades it down, way back, a smaller wave. Will it stand up down the inside? Nope. So really just kind of a warm-up ride for Mila.
It's always good to get that one warm-up, but watch out for the second and third ones, right?
The ones behind. Replay. Can see a little flatter on the face there. Nice wrap. She's got incredible turns, incredible airs, great tube rider, so she's got everything she needs.
I would like to see her.
succeed.
I would like to see her and Aaron Brooks compete because they're like kind of the, you know what I mean, like a mirrored image of each other.
Guaranteed we'll see that one day. Kira Pinkerton, fell off the front. Looked like she caught the nose of the board, perhaps, Lisa.
Yep, a little bit, maybe weight forward a little, a tad, which, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of nerves maybe at the beginning of this heat session.
Here we go. Let's have a look at the replay. Foot on the back, lifted the nose up, drives off the bottom. And it just caught that rail. It was a perfect tube section. Unfortunate missed opportunity. We know as a young girl she spent a lot of time in Kauai as well, so comfortable in big waves.
Okay, gets another bite straight away.
Now I think I see what happened the first time. You see that ledge pop up underneath her? I think that's what got her caught that first wave, right?
Yeah. Ended up on her tippy toes there and then into the lip. It looked like she went over with it. I'm actually scared to see the replay of this one.
But all 4 surfers got a wave on the board now. And as you said, Lisa, they've got that first one out the way. They can start to settle a bit.
Yeah, have a look at this one here. Who's deeper?
Mila Coco Brown charging through that one.
Nice wave.
Look at it. No claim, just hands on the head in disbelief.
Double trouble there, 2 sections, drove through them deep, powerful, not a big build, but so powerful and so committed.
What an amazing, her line just then to pull tuck under the lip. That was profession beyond her years, in my opinion. Like,
Indeed.
17 and doing that, that's crazy.
How does it feel now that you're in that position? You've gone out in this new contest format and you know in your head you're like, I'm surfing well. You don't know for sure if you're leading, but you're like, I am surfing good.
I'd say she knows she's leading now. 2 beautiful tube rides on a bigger set wave, right?
Oh, that's so sick.
Paddling back out, and you can see the wind still howling, adding a whole nother element to the conditions.
And it's you can see it on the face there, but once the wave turns and starts to break, it does clean up a bit. Annie Dos Santos getting worked there.
And again, maybe better getting worked at the start than at the end of that one. If she was able to pin drop and get out the back and not get washed all the way in and lose too much time.
Well, the commitment worked for Solly Bailey. It's a message to the judges, I'm going and I'm not scared.
Paddling, gets stuck for a sec. There she is in that lip.
That wind just holding her right up there.
Decided it was better to get out early rather than try and make it.
And Annie's not big. She hasn't got a lot of mass to hold the nose down in that situation.
Annie's on the ski.
Kira Pinkerton.
Oh, Kira!
Wow. That was massive.
Go! Drive
Still
it.
going.
Look at her holding her head in the middle of that wave. Setting up for that turn, getting her feet placed.
Keep going.
This wave's working for her.
Wow.
Looks back at the judges' boat there. That was fantastic. Little bobble on the way in as well.
Yeah, and then you see that go below sea level.
And you can see that board, the front end does wiggle around a little under her feet, but she's obviously on a bigger equipment and it's serving her well.
Yeah, and this time she hit that double up perfectly.
Can see her just adjusting that front foot as well.
And this one just kept running down the line. She's got time to enjoy it after all of that critical inside work.
And just like Sully said, it does have that Kira vibe to it, how it just keeps on going and going.
So the unofficial scorecard, somewhere between Mila Coco Brown and Kira Pinkerton.
And Mila definitely got deeper in the tube. And there were
Definitely.
two of them. Maybe not as big a wave as Kira's. So
Right.
Okay, Coco Ho looking for a response. Oh, and it's not there.
that was an easier wave. That was an easy pick rather than a real critical one.
Kira Pinkerton back in.
Oh, nice
High
line.
line.
Oh, it's makeable.
Oh, can you
She's
imagine?
still there?
Can you imagine if she came out of that?
Oh, I thought for a
Charging.
second she was.
Well, full commitment.
I love the cameraman's faith as well. He was
Look at
there
that.
with us.
Driving,
Wow.
oh yeah, super deep, gets caught up in the white water there. Perhaps that wasn't makeable from that,
Nope.
from so deep.
So Annie Dos Santos got absolutely thrashed on that last wave. Mila Coco Brown.
Charging. Oh.
Again, just
That
not
drop.
scared though.
Yeah, that drop, the takeoff was pretty commitment right there.
And those lips, when they hit you, if they hit you, they can tear a limb, you know? I've had a lip land on my shoulder and blow it out.
Pulls your arms off.
Yeah, it literally does. That was a really critical situation she found herself in.
Coco looking for that one, but Mila Coco Brown now.
Ooh, in the barrel again, driving through this one and makes it. That's a second ride of consequence that the judges will have to consider, Lise.
Definitely, and I saw how she drew her line and then sort of moved up in that wave just to make it out.
Okay, highlights here of a 60-minute session condensed into 15, 20 minutes. Don't be concerned though, you're not missing anything apart from the gaps between the sets. All of the action, even the unridden waves are being shown here.
Oh, look at number 2, drawing off the reef already.
Oh, look at this thing!
Jeez.
Who's out there?
Way up the point and
Coco.
swinging.
Yep. Kira Pinkerton.
Oh, my God.
Dragged over the falls.
I feel like Kira Pinkerton, just with the abandon that she's approached this heat with, could be the judge's favourite at this point in time. She's sitting the deepest. She wants it the most, and she's throwing it out there.
You talked earlier about those chip shots that are letting people early, and then there's other sections which are just hollowing out. The water's evaporating under you.
Yeah, as the bottom drops out and it sucks below sea level. Incredible performances from all the ladies. Coco Ho having a look at this one.
Go, Coco, go. Come on.
And that let her in nice and easy.
Nice line. Not too much to do on that one, though. Just bummer with the wave selection right
Feels
now.
a little conservative, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Feels
yeah.
like she's kind of picking waves
I mean-
that are that little bit safer where Kira's just...
I would be freaking out right now if I was out there. I would be taking the corners for sure. I'm like, I don't know.
And that's where this is different to a normal surfing competition, because if you're going to get through your heat with a 4 and a 5, you can surf in a conservative way. But if you're going to impress the judges with your performance, as we see Mila Brown up and riding on this one, you've really got to commit.
This chick's gonna take over the world.
Might have been Ian.
Replay, little cover up. This is when the judges got excited on that maneuver. You see the tail tweak out underneath her and drives through into another nice turn.
So much talent in this kid.
There's a lot of wind on that lip as well. We saw it a couple of how did she hold on to that?
You know, she's got skateboarding in her background, so that you can totally see right there.
Smaller wave though, kind of easier wave to surf. Kira Pinkerton still, when it comes to commitment.
And she's back at it here. Deepest there by a long way.
Bummer.
But she wants it. The intent's there all the way.
4.5 minutes left in this one. So everyone's had some chances. Annie's been a little quiet for a while.
Here we go. Speak of the devil.
Waiting for it to stand up, hoping that it barrels, it closes out, she straightens off, might not get another chance.
You know, sometimes in waves of consequence like this, you take a hit and it's not too bad. You think, okay, Coco Ho.
Waiting, little cover up at the start, wraps it out of the top. Just such beautiful style.
That signature carve of hers is so sick.
Royalty.
I was going to say,
bloodline.
Sometimes like you take a hit and it's actually not that bad and it gives you loads of confidence. I wonder if Annie dos Santos got really punished by that first one and she's a little gun show off the back of it.
That definitely affects you for sure, getting smoked by a wave or, you know, a situation where you can't shake it off.
Doesn't feel like Coco, the waves haven't come to Coco in this session.
Yeah, well, she's had people on her inside who want them like this
Kira.
young lady here. She
Yes.
wants it.
How's that wave?
Oh, double hand drag just trying to slow it down.
Look at this thing.
Look at this.
Is that Miller?
Yeah.
Wow.
Judges are going to have a tough one between the two, you know, between the two young guns.
Yep.
Kira Pinkerton.
100%. Too tight to call for you two at the moment?
I think Miller's got it.
Oh, I'm going to go the other way.
Really?
Oh, but watch, here's this replay. Let's
we
see
go.
this from front on. Big section. I just feel, you know, the Solly heat, what he won with, was
that's
not
true.
conservative. It was just full charging. And Kira has been the one who has absolutely charged.
Makes sense.
She's got the biggest waves.
Judges will tell us, though.
For sure.
Okay, let's have a little recap of the whole thing. We can put it all together and then decide. I think you've both hit the nail on the head, Barton. You were talking about the size of the wave, but then frequency and how hard you're attacking. This is outrageous.
That must be the wave of the heat, though.
Yeah.
A little more conservative, perhaps, for Mila Brown. Still great surfing, some turns in there, some tube rides. And here, this was that wipeout, Ed, you were talking about. It was critical and dangerous.
Coco with that little doggy door.
Oh!
Donuts.
And Kira Pinkerton just went back out and kept going, kept catching, kept charging. Love the way she performed.
This is the one it was easy to forget about, though. The double barrel from Miller.
That was deep right there.
And it happened early, so
and
you
then
do.
again, she gets it again. So, yeah.
That's a hell of a wave.
I mean, size-wise, it was smaller, but...
Yeah. Sweet. Kira second. Yep. Coco third. Yeah.
So good to have that recap, that double barrel on that wave, I think. You called it the size definitely worked for Kira, but Miller Coco Brown taking the win there. How much will that mean to her? What a vote of confidence in these kind of conditions.
And these are her peers.
Yeah,
right?
she's the youngest
so this
in
is
the field.
amazing for her. Great job.
I see blood.
Blood is there. Annie's got blood.
Annie drew blood. Does it surprise you? Not when she goes for it as hard as she does. Mila,
Yeah.
are you stoked you won?
Did I?
Did you? You did, yeah.
He said Kira.
Mila.
Holy shit. Those are crazy. Kira is a psychopath.
Were those some of the best waves of your life?
Right.
We keep hearing that. Best wave of the life. How'd it go there, Coco Bear?
I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
You were participating.
Yeah. Kira is absolutely baffling to me, where she was sitting and what she was paddling for. We all knew where to sit. There was just some rogue 10-footers that would really confuse you.
So what's next, Mila? You're straight to the final.
It's crazy. I took off on my one, and I was so behind it. I did one of these ones with my back arm, went behind me. I was like, uh-oh, I've cooked this here. And I just got under it, and I came out, and I was about to
like go like, what just happened? And I see the next section, so I pull up into it again and get another little hit. So I was just like, and then I got another tiny little one. Which had a fun little section, and then I watched Kira and Coco and Annie just send it. It was just like the craziest heat of my life. It's like just watching girls charge is like the best thing ever.
Absolutely love getting that insight. It's so good hearing from them straight away. Miller Coco Brown, absolute fairy tale story there. The young Australian makes it straight into finals. Kira Pinkerton, Coco Ho and Annie Dos Santos will surf again for that finals spot. That was a hell of a start for the women, Lisa.
I was just thinking, like, it does remind you of being on a boat trip with all your friends, and you're sending it with everyone, but you're pushing each other to go deeper and deeper and deeper. But now you're being judged by your peers in like the most beautiful place on earth. It's a dream.
It is a dream contest, isn't it? But to hear Coco Ho saying, I was baffled by where Kira was sitting, that was a huge compliment.
Kira wanted it, didn't she? She went at it. She attacked it. And, it's going to be interesting to see the next heat, because if that first heat was anything to go by, Kira and Mila Brown were on another level up in terms of their performance. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Kira can back that up, do it again.
But we saw that Annie Dos Santos kind of went missing after that big thrashing on the reef. Ooh. But it feels like if she can send one of those, then she'll be in the conversation as well.
Absolutely. I think that it's just a matter of who got the nuggets, because there was some times where there just wasn't those ones we saw like in the men's round. But in this one, yeah, those were a couple like that were just surprise sneaky ones, like Coco was saying, that you were sitting in the right spot, but then these massive waves would come in and just sort of make you feel like you're out of sync.
It's definitely been a challenge, I think, for all of the surfers out there. We're going to take a quick break in a moment. Before we do, though, we're going to check in with Martin Daly. He's the closest thing that surfing's got to a pirate, and without him, Natural Selection would have had no chance of navigating over 3,000 square miles of Micronesian ocean.
Okay, I'm Martin Daly. It's been hanging over me for a couple of months now how the hell we're going to pull it off. And I guess you just light the fuse and see what happens sometimes. So it's been 40 years of looking around. Back in the day we had charts, and you look at charts and the wind direction and the swell direction. And I remember looking at Micronesia and looking at all the passes and everything else and going, there's got to be surf in this place. And I remember putting a cross on one particular place that turned out to be the best surf that we've seen.
We got dropped off on the boat here. I didn't know if we were going to be walking into like a little grass hut. Martin Daly's sitting up there. I've been wondering where that crusty old bastard's been for years. Yeah, he's been hiding out in Micronesia. Being surrounded by ocean your whole life, like I've kind of like looked up to Martin, and I love his kind of outlook on like exploration.
As far as being challenging, I think it's all incremental. You just, with anything, you just have an idea and then you execute. I've been looking at this for 18 years. I had a fairly good idea what was going to happen. But I think my other big takeaway is the absolute enthusiasm of these young men and women to charge and to go hard and to turn around and just throw safety away and take off on some of the heaviest waves I think that have ever been surfed.
Seatrees is proud to collaborate with the Natural Selection Tour as a 2025 impact partner to help them minimize their climate impact and boost global biodiversity. We do this by restoring and protecting marine ecosystems around the world, including coral reefs, kelp and mangrove forests, seagrass meadows, and coastal watersheds. Want to make waves like the Natural Selection Tour? Then dive into seatrees.org to get started.
Just you and the waves and me. Sunrise awakes our seaside dreams. Barefoot traces on the mind. Echoes of our hearts collide. In your gaze, the tides inside. Just you and the waves and me.
Welcome back to Micronesia, where we have just seen both sessions from the men and the first session from the women. We've had our first taste of action from deep in Micronesia. Tana Gadauskas, Lisa Anderson, back in the studio with me. You like what you've seen so far, Lisa?
Absolutely. Like I can't stop moving. Like I'm fidgeting a lot because it's so exciting and I want to see who's going to do what. And just seeing what I just saw is blowing my mind. And I'm so happy that everybody's in one piece right now.
I think that's definitely worth touching on. The level of the women there, you were watching from the back, Tanner, like that was heavy.
Oh, I mean, I'm watching Annie Dos Santos and thinking there's absolutely no way she's going, and she's just going to commit. Like her spirit, I think, embodies what everybody wants to approach this as. Don't turn back. Go. See what it's going to happen. And as a goofy foot, it's so challenging. And just seeing those girls commit. Obviously, my picks are doing okay. Let's say Kira Pinkerton had a great ride. And I you know, to be honest, seeing all the different approaches over the reef pass has been really fun as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the judges have been very clear from the beginning. Solly Bailey and Eithan, like, they want to see charging surfing from start to finish.
Yeah, and I mean, I had the opportunity to be there to be a judge. So I'm judging in my mind right now as I'm watching, and I'm on board with what they're saying for sure.
I think from a surfer's perspective, you want to see somebody challenge themselves against Mother Nature. You know, these are really tricky conditions. You got a lot of wind. They have the ability, but then you have to dig a little deeper to want it, to go, to get over the ledge. And so I think that's what you see in the judging, right? It's like, you know, are they pushing on the sets? And are they really charging and taking the day?
Well, we'll take another look at the Credo categories. This is the acronym that Natural Selection uses for its judging. So you've got five different categories. Creativity, but what we're seeing come to the fore almost, risk, execution, difficulty, and then that overall is everything you do from the moment you jump off the boat. But as you've seen, there's no scores, it's just the judges' opinions.
So in this second round of natural selection, we have Noah Beshin, Mikey February, and Kaoli Vast. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens because this is their last chance to make it into the final. The wind is lightened up a bit on the conditions. The tide is dropping. One thing I really want to note is we've been hearing wave of my life a lot today, potentially the wave of my life if I didn't jump off. So it's pretty interesting because these are all world-renowned, craziest of the young generation surfers. And when they're saying wave of my life, that's a huge claim. And it's been pretty awesome to watch.
Nathan Fletcher with a valuable bit of insight there. He's been up close and personal with some people who are absolutely charged with adrenaline so far. And we're coming into that last chance saloon stage of the competition. Only one of Mikey February, Kaoli Vast and Noah Beshin can go into the semi-finals against Eithan Osborne, and only one of VB, Alan Cleland Jr. and Harry Bryant can join Solly Bailey on the other side of the draw. So everything to play for here, Lisa.
Yes, I mean, everything's on the line here. It'd be interesting to see if the same surfers shine in this round or someone different.
I'm kind of interested to see that level of desperation. You know, this is your last chance to make it and keep going forward. And will that affect the way they approach the lineup?
We can take a look at highlights from that first session. I think Noah Beshin second place. One of those surfers who he maybe didn't have the energy all the way to the end of the heat, kind of went missing in the middle a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose. He almost bookended that heat. He started it, and then he was on the wave just before Eithan's wave of his life, so he had a little bit of aggression through the whole thing. And as we saw, Mikey Febbs had waves behind Noah, and we thought he had a great heat as well, but it came down to the size of the wave, I think, in the end.
Yeah, you got that view from the land then of Noah's wave, absolutely gigantic.
Yeah, and Mikey, of course, finesse like nobody else. You're going to see style, like it's just so pleasing to watch. And it looked great here in Micronesia.
Okay, simple format here. We're in round 2 now, so 6 surfers, 3 in each of the sessions, and they're 45 minutes long this time, so a little bit shorter, and only 1 surfer can advance. So last chance saloon.
Yeah. Not too many sets, okay. But, ooh.
So Noah Beshan, Cowley Vast and Mikey February up first. And Cowley seemed to struggle first time out, Lisa.
Yes, I'm expecting him not to struggle now because this is the time to shine. He's a gold medalist. He's going to shine for sure.
That last heat was exciting.
45 minutes.
What a great pairing we have here. You know, you think about it, it's like Mikey, I don't want to call him an elder in this heat, but the other 2 guys are just so young and hungry. You know, Noah Beshan has put a lot of time into heating, and he lives in Hawaii, and Cowley Voss would be so comfortable in water like this.
Maybe the second, whoever got second.
Did that, was that? No, Mikey sat right out the back there, isn't he?
Those 3 guys are in the same.
It feels like there is a takeoff spot that is happening on the very outside where Mikey's at. And then yet again, as it warps over the reef into the inside bowl, maybe another potential takeoff spot like Noah and these guys have been choosing.
Look at that, Noah Beshan deep in the guts of this thing.
Nice, came out of that.
Oh! What?
No. Wow.
And it looked like he had an exit there and he didn't take it. He thought, you know what, the judges want to see me charge this.
Pretty sketchy takeoff. I was looking at it.
Nice way to start off, huh?
Yeah.
So there's 3 minutes.
Here's a replay.
I love Brad Gerlach's choice of wardrobe on this one. Really strong.
Hold up into it again.
Lisa, how cool is it that we get to tap into the judges' commentary on these rides, like real time?
It's kind of almost like, I don't know. I mean, I've been waiting to hear what they had to say because I thought there would be a lot of great banter going back and forth.
Yeah, they're kind of buttoned up, actually.
Yeah, they're all quiet. I mean,
we're eavesdropping. Give us the goods.
Yeah.
Well, imagine watching a session like this unfold. Seen a couple of people looking over the ledge already, but Noah, interesting, Noah opened up the first session, the very first session, with intent, and that wave stood stronger and stronger and higher in the mind the further through the heat we got.
And again, you got Mikey Febbs doing the way he did it in the heat prior before, sitting further out, kind of choosing a different wave altogether. It's cool because it goes back to that credo of your intention off of the boat, how did you surf the entire heat, almost as an art form. As we watch Mikey come all the way through with some graceful swoop, I don't know, there wasn't really much meat on that wave.
Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? It's beautiful to watch, but yeah,
I could watch him surf waves like that all day. I don't need a barrel. He's so good.
But we've seen the judges, when they start putting weights and measures on stuff, they want to see waves of consequence, those drainers that are standing up.
I mean, this is natural selection, correct? Like, that's what we're trying to find is man versus nature. And in these elements, you have to say the most tricky and challenging setup are those set waves.
Yep. Long may they continue.
I mean, to call these below sea level is almost an understatement.
Let's see what the judges made of this one. Oh, look at that.
Oh, come out. Oh.
That was insane.
There we go. Now we're feeling it.
Wow.
Right, 25 minutes into this heat, and Noah Beshan has really he's got a chokehold on it, it feels like.
Yeah. You know, I wanted to bring up, and it's to Barton's point that he said earlier, with the wind chops, you watch Noah as he pumps, he's getting over that ledge, and now in the barrel, you sometimes can feel a warp from behind your board that gives you extra speed to go over foam balls. It's a really weird sensation. I think Noah almost got bucked by that, and that might have been to his demise at the very end of that ride.
It did look like his surfboard flipped underneath him inside.
He's so light on his feet, he can generate so much speed, can't he?
Oh, he's incredible. He's tip of the spear for barrel riding. Yeah, okay, well, we're watching a guy get the great shot. Oh, he was completely airborne over the foam ball. I mean, at that point, you don't really know why you're falling off your board, but what a great effort.
What do you think about like the bigger the better? Just fucking sending on a bomb.
Yeah. Except for the ones that are mushing, you know. Yeah. But that one that was right there, we all went, oh, you know. Yeah. That was a bigger wave right there.
Just hanging on their every word. Look at these.
Crazy.
Cowley Vast again. We see him sat out there. We're 25 minutes in, and we saw this last time. It took him 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes to get a wave last time.
Look, Cowley Vast is not afraid. Like, we're just going to get to that level. Like, he's probably feeling really good about what he's seeing. He's just trying to choose what to ride on his, with the backside approach. You know, one thing I wanted to note as well is that it feels like one of those waves that by the time you see a set, it's on top of you, right? There's not much time to adjust your line. You basically have to turn around and start paddling and pray that you're on a good little runway to get the wave.
Mikey February's got one here, though. It's walling.
Oh.
Oh! Everyone holding their breath there, just waiting. He wasn't that far back as well in the whitewater. Oh. There's like the look on your guys' faces. I'm almost enjoying watching Tanner and Lisa's
Yeah, Lisa,
faces.
what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on what Mikey's doing?
I'm like, my mouth is wide open, but I'm just thinking he's just trying to get out of that thing. He's flying as fast as he can.
I suppose that almost makes it easy. Like, he's so deep that then it's all about just getting out, right? You just got to keep pumping. What great connection to the wave face there. My word.
He was so composed right in the maw of that beast, wasn't he?
Mikey's a sneaky barrel rider. You know, a lot of people think of Mikey as a style, or he has the flow on the wave, but he does put it down when it's waves of consequence. He's always down in Cape Town, and he chooses those slabby waves like Windhoek. Here we go with Noah, feeling right at home, feeling the rhythm in this heat.
In control of this session in some style, and sneaks out of that one. Noah Beshan again making it work.
I'm holding my breath when these guys kick out because of that reef.
Yeah, what
such
are we thinking?
Commitment. Such commitment.
How shallow do you think that is?
I'm going to say 4 feet, maybe. I don't know.
He doesn't slow down. Like, even that last wave that Noah had, like, he's like almost not in the barrel that whole first part, and then the last part stretches and he's super deep and then doggy doors. It's like, if you're backside of that and you're dragging, you're not making it out of that bend part, you know? So it's like the whole thing, or even those bombs, you have to come around a little chandelier and pull up, and then it goes like fucking squares out. Like, but I think it's definitely preference.
Ian Crane giving you a complete breakdown of that wave. That was immense, Tanner.
Oh, totally. And I mean, it's the reality, right? He's talking about a Goofy Foot's line and what you'd have to do to doggy door that, which is Cowley Vast in this heat. It's not impossible, but it is so challenging to switch your body positioning to make it and redirect out as you aim under the doggy door. I mean, what is that? That's like a quadruple up.
Well, we said we weren't going to take anything out, only the gaps between the sets. You see everything here, whatever was ridden and unridden. Just 6.5 minutes left. Mikey February on the outside.
Oh! Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
You know, what I love in the Credo is obviously you have those 4 points, the 5 points, and it's creativity that Mikey, he just runs with. You know, right off the bat, it's like it's a slightly different line. It feels and looks different, and it's attractive as the viewer, right? It draws you right into what he's doing.
Absolutely macking from Mikey February there. That was a thing of beauty, Lisa.
Yeah, and it broke his surfboard, too. So,
Wow.
Have we seen Callie Voss right away?
No.
I have not.
He only got one in the first session. He's really not happy,
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, either that or he's just not coming his way. He's watching those. Sometimes you don't sync up, do you?
Yeah, and I would imagine that's the case here.
Love that. It just took one pump between those sections. He's so compact on this first barrel ride, and then the second one he gets caught straight leg, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he did a great job of pulling through that chandelier
This
to
is
then
the
be able
part.
to pull. Oh my, wait.
It just dropped out, didn't it?
High, low, high, low.
Wow.
So 30 seconds left.
What a shame for Callie. He's such a proficient barrel rider, and he loves conditions like this. I mean, it's a shame for us as the viewer as well that we didn't get to see him really unlock it.
That's it fundamentally, isn't it? Like, so many people watching this are neutrals, and you're here just for the show. Pam looks like she's loving that boat ride, doesn't she? She's so jazzed for the whole thing. Okay, let's take a recap of this whole heat. Remember some of the standout waves. Noah Beschen opened up the second session just as he did the first.
Yeah, Lisa, this looks like your boy Mikey Fed's all over it again.
I love watching him surf, even in closeout waves. It's just like his lines are beautiful.
You know, I think in general, this heat had some incredible moments, and it didn't really have those bomb sets that we were seeing before, maybe a little bit more refined. So who knows, maybe the conditions are slightly improving and becoming a little bit more manageable.
Noah had the bit between his teeth, didn't he? He knew he wanted that final spot. And I think he knew how close he'd come in that first session to the win. He just ducked out behind Eithan.
Well, it's cool as well. These guys are so far out in the middle of the ocean, but yet they're competing still, right? To contain yourself and say, hey, I really want to make this heat. I want to make it into the semis and keep going. Noah really embodied that.
Okay, boys coming back to the boat. Time to find out what the judges thought of this heat and whether it was the same as what everyone watching thought.
All right, no bash.
Didn't even get away.
Did you? That was.
Yeah. For Cowley.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so confirmation there of the result. I don't think any surprises for anyone. Noah Beschen, the winner.
First heat of round 2 is approaching the boat. Looks like Mikey February broke a board. How was it, Mikey?
It was fun. It was kind of tricky. Wasn't too many sets in our heat. Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly feel bad these guys can't surf again. But yeah. But fuck. It was fun. I feel like there weren't that many waves in that heat. Like I got two fun ones, like little ones, but there weren't any like bombs that were sick.
What's the feeling?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't get a wave.
You didn't get a wave. Nothing.
Didn't stand up. I got stuck on one good set, but I was way too deep. And then after I was waiting, and then maybe one opportunity came, and then I was still too deep. So I didn't go. I don't know. I felt like I was like, oh, maybe I wait for a better one again, and then it was super slow. And they were getting like, they were active. I was just waiting for one good one.
So there is the bracket. We have 3 of our 4 semi-finalists. Noah Beschen books his place against Solly Bailey. Just 1 spot left, and it's going to be between Victor Bernardo, Alan Cleland Jr. and Harry Bryant to decide who will face Eithan Osborne. Really interesting hearing from Cowley Vass there, though. Barton Lynch earlier on saying, where he's seen this reef, it's almost like a point. It's super, super flat. Do you think it's quite difficult to orientate yourself on something like that when you probably haven't got many landmarks on the atoll either?
And usually if it's a point that wraps, you kind of have a better idea where to sit because you're expecting it to break a certain way. When it's straight on like that, it's easy to get confused of where to sit, right? And, you know, I think Cowley's used to surfing Chopu, and, you know, he knows where that lineup is. This one's maybe threw him off a little bit. I don't know. But like he said, nothing came. He waited. And that's what I thought, too. He was waiting for the one.
dominant performance from Noah Besham, but how close do you think Mikey February came?
I think he came close. I think at the end of the day, that one wave that Noah had might have been the difference. But I think back to like Lisa's point, it's interesting to see. You got to get into the mindset of these surfers, right? And they're approaching the lineup from the boat. You're not even camped out on the beach, so your lineups have to be so spaced out because you're coming from the backside of the wave, and then now you're interacting with the lineup. You don't have things off of the beach, so. For a guy like Cowley, like tough luck there in that situation. He has all the skill to do it, but there's got to be a lot of factors. It's wind, it's current, and you're just trying to find something to make it happen.
So we've given the boys a bit of credit, but let's look forward now. That semi-final matchup, we know we're going to see. Like, it's the stuff of dreams, isn't it? Solly Bailey versus Noah Besham, Lisa.
Yes, I'm excited. I mean, I don't know what's going to go down, right? But it's gonna be like whoever sits the deepest, maybe. I don't know. Like, these guys are the standouts. So whatever strategy they had before, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this session, because maybe they're on the same program, and then maybe there'll be a little tussle going on. I don't know.
It's gonna be psycho. These guys are heavy water specialists, and they've had an incredible last year for the both of them. So I'm sure they're feeling red hot and ready to take the heat.
Yeah, there is plenty of action still left to come here at Natural Selection Surf. One thing that we'd like to just flag up early on, though, is that this isn't just about sport. There's very much a cultural element to natural selection. There's the storytelling around and behind it, and you've got these trophies. I'm going to try and pick this one up. It's pretty heavy. So Western Lambert, based out of the Pacific Northwest, has put these together, and the same theme exists through all four natural selection sports: the mountain biking, the surfing here, the snowboarding, and the skiing. You've got this mix of rock. I can't tell you the weight on this. It's so heavy. And then a bit of glass through the top. And what's amazing, when you touch them, the rock is still quite cold. The glass actually feels quite soft and warm. They're absolutely stunning. And then behind us, those of you from a snow background might recognize, let me see, no, it's over this side, Mike Perillo's piece of art. He's done all of the event posters. Head over to the Natural Selection website and you can see those in great detail. This one's actually been signed by all of the surfers who are on that trip. And then there was another piece of art as well, which we decided to make a little film about, because the blood, sweat and tears that went into making it were nothing short of breathtaking. This is what happened to the Natural Selection portal out in Micronesia.
It's going to be our 5th year running Natural Selection, and it's been several years that we've discussed rolling into surf. We've always brought in an artistic element into our events. First 2 years, we had a world-renowned artist named Carrie Thompson build the portals, which were our start gates. Intentionally, we wanted to bring something to this place, stick by stick, piece by piece.
It's one of those places that really takes you back in time. There's no crowds, there's fantastic waves, beautiful environments, and you feel like you're adventuring and discovering somewhere for the first time.
The vision here was to just make something with what we could find here on the island. You know, source everything locally, initiating an energy, setting a tone.
Dealing with Mother Nature doesn't mean it's a given. Our events are set in locations where you have these variables that come together that truly provide the opportunity.
Challenges are weather, construction materials, time. Like any good game show, right? You've got to have a time limit, literally like 36 hours left.
Putting up an intentional element, imbue a little beauty and benevolence into the terra firma, but it hasn't let us down thus far.
The portal speaks to the unique individuality of natural selection, of this environment.
Hopefully our blood, sweat, and tears into this project equates to great surf and an incredible experience for everybody that's coming.
Now it's just up to the gods.
Flat tires, broken gear, questionable advice. Those are our teachers. Adventure catalyzes discovery. Obstacles forge resilience. Struggle unlocks potential. This is why we go.
Every great force begins in stillness. Above, the sun fuels all life. Below, the ocean holds the seeds of something extraordinary. At TAE, we ignite a different seed. Plasma, nurturing it with precision and power until it becomes a force of nature. Like the ocean, fusion energy harnesses fundamental forces to shape plasma into waves of pure energy. Magnetic fields contain this super-hot energy cloud, releasing heat and electrons naturally, cleanly, endlessly. Fusion is the future, transforming energy, industry, and the world. Catch the wave of the future with TAE.
Here we are in Micronesia for Last Chance Saloon on qualifying day here at Natural Selection Surf. We have one of our women's finalists and we have three of our men's semi-finalists. Joining me in the booth for the last stint, Tanner Gadauskas and Barton Lynch. How you going, gentlemen?
We're doing good, brother.
Yeah, been a great day.
Doing good. Yeah.
We've seen some outrageous surfing so far.
Yeah, I would like to take credit for helping build that portal. And when we went there, we worked our butts off, we built that thing, and we got skunked for waves and never got really anything over knee to chest high. So we set the groundwork for them to score this week.
That was the sacrifice.
That was the sacrifice.
I did notice as well in that clip, I'm sure you all saw it, that Barton was sporting sandals, aka jandals, and using power tools, which was really
and flip-flops, yeah.
Great combination.
That's all I had, mate. No shoes. Got to do what you got to do, brother.
Show us the shoes now, because he did actually put shoes on. He came in with sandals yesterday as well.
It's a bit cold.
What do you? Okay, now that Barton made the sacrifice for us, there's been some big heavy waves in both the men's and the women's.
Yeah, thanks, Bart. Yeah, this is insane what we're watching. Actually, I mean, like you're talking about like compression of water over a shallow reef, like with a very raw wind behind it. It's not easy. It doesn't look perfect. It looks challenging, but like that potential of the wave of your life is out there. Guys are saying that, so that's what you would dream of, right?
And then the big thing for everyone to get used to, first time out, is this judging format, Credo, which is actually an intuitive, emotional response from the judges. It feels like it's running seamlessly. Certainly no athletes said anything. None of the surfers have said anything out there.
Well, you know in your heart of hearts who surf the best, even when you're out in the water together. The surfers most probably get a similar feeling. The judges are all peers, and so they are on that same wavelength and get similar sorts of feelings and vibes about the winner and the loser and how things went.
It's even interesting when the surfers are breaking it down after the heat. They get back to the boat. They're kind of they're saying similar things to what we're saying here. You know, it's like they already know who rode the biggest, gnarliest wave and kind of who put the performance down. So from like a collective, you kind of do all come to the same decision.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a little look at the conditions as they update for our final two sessions of the day. Earlier on, Nathan Fletcher called the conditions nuking out there, but the wind still hasn't dropped. Waves still in that 6 to 10 foot range. And I'm guessing that the sunny and 84-24 doesn't change a single day of the year here near the equator.
And that wind at 25 knots is the variable that's having the most influence of all. If it was clean, perfectly offshore, as we see the bracket there, it'd be easy, be a cakewalk, but with that wind, it's super difficult.
Okay, VB, Alan Cleland Jr. and Harry Bryant all vying for that final semi-final spot against Eithan Osborne. Gotta say, Eithan's probably watching from the boat, feeling quite imperious at this point.
Yeah, but you'd want to surf again because it's good. There's 10-point rides. There's the ride of your life out there if you can find them.
Yeah, we've seen it for a couple of surfers, Tanner.
Yeah, and on days where it's so heavy like this, sometimes it's better to interact with it and keep interacting with it. Sometimes you get a little gun shy and you start to overthink things. So like, it can be an advantage to keep surfing and get through those elimination rounds.
Okay, we saw Solly Bailey go straight through from this round at the start, but we've got VB in there. Took off on a couple of smaller ones, but he definitely had a feel for the wave early.
Yeah, absolutely. And Harry Bryant was spectacular, wasn't he? He had a gnarly wipeout, but his tube riding, his positioning, and then also when he went to the turns, he was impressive. So if the Goofies are any chance, it's in the lap of Harry.
Let's do this.
It would be so good to see a Goofy foot in the final, wouldn't it?
Why, are you one?
No, I'm Regs, unfortunately.
Oh, well, it's nice of you to say it then.
Okay, here's the format. Those are the details that all you need to know. Both the men and the women here need to win if they want to advance in this competition. 3 men, 3 women, only one of each can advance to the next round. Harry Bryant, the only thing you need to know about this man can be summed up in one sentence. He swam across shark-infested waters in Sydney Harbour with a stake strapped to his leg. Victor Bernardo, coming out of Brazil. Look, he's got the ASIM. We've seen it there. Beautiful. We hadn't had a good look at his board before that. And then the man who's just made it onto the tour, Alan Cleland Jr., got a 9th at the Pipe Pro recently after this competition, but I reckon this was a half-decent warm-up for Backdoor. Hear the wind just buffeting around on the mics there. Horns fired. The boys are in business, and it's Harry Bryant right out the back there looking to turn on this one. No. Victor Bernardo sat on the wedge in the middle.
Insider.
Victor on a beautiful wave. Inside wave, not a big tall one. And it sections out, not much there.
And out the back we got
Whoa.
Harry Bryant. Oh, brother.
Oh.
Brother.
That's happened to him on 2 or 3, hasn't it?
A little loose in the rail, the fins gave way, and there was foam on the face of that as well, and it looked like that lip just might have squared him up right in the head.
Water Patrol.
Here we go.
You know what's interesting,
Straight to have a
a
look.
lot of these waves run into the foam line right here. And you watch
Yes.
when Harry's rail kind of disengages. Oh, my word.
The back foot came off, the weight went forward, the lip hit you in the back of the head. Not much worse than that.
Yeah, Water Patrol's DK Walsh, the fireman from Maui, Ian's brother. We got Kiahi Diabois and Rio Stevens out there on the jet skis. Harry looking like he's going to take another one. 18 minutes in.
BL, you know, Harry, he kind of, to me, he sort of embodies or feels like that Aussie mongrel spirit, don't you think?
He sure does. Well, here we go. Al Cleland Jr. backdooring a section. Oh, no!
You can hear Nathan Fletcher down there. Make it!
We all wanted him to make that one for sure. Yeah, I actually took Harry on his very first trip to Hawaii when he was a young boy. And I grew up with his dad. His dad, Brett, grew up at Manly with us.
Oh, right.
And so I've known those guys for a long time. And Harry has just turned in. He's been able, as we see, Al, let's cut to the action here. He's already in the tube. He's super deep, Tanner, and he's just positioned himself perfectly to make this one.
I kind of want to spend a minute here with Al's technique in the barrel. It's flawless, in my opinion. He doesn't waste any energy. It's so efficient. He's able to change slightly, and his line, it's really unique. That's why he's one of the best barrel riders currently in the world.
Yeah, all that time on the Mexican beach breaks, just heaving.
Which is not an easy wave, right? Like, it's not a slab wave. He has to chase the wave down, and then he has to surf it accordingly. So I think it's really honed his skills.
Okay, VB up and riding. He's been in the right spot a couple of times now.
Backdooring this section. Nice little tube ride, but again, it was an easy one. It's kind of pedestrian. The wave itself didn't have anything that was going to really get me excited. And he's got to sort of, once you've had a couple, you've built your momentum into the heat, it's time to wait and get the super critical ones, the ones that really get the judges out of their seat.
Every time I see that double fist down cut back, though, he drives those arms behind himself. Doesn't let that back arm float around. You watch it here.
Yeah, in his own kind, Victor Bernardo is he's a one-off, essentially.
Yes.
His style is so nice, and he has pop, he has air game, and he charges, and he's always open-minded on his equipment, so it always allows for different lines.
I always think, whatever action sport you're in, it's really hard when you're a bit taller. He's 6'3", and you never see it in him. He doesn't have that lanky kind of awkward style. Harry Bryant back up again.
Oh, beautiful, out of the top. The best turns we've seen of the day so far.
Are you
Two of
kidding?
them into an incomplete end, but still a couple of beautiful turns. Be interesting to see, Tanner, how the judges appreciate those turns in relation to the barrels.
Yeah, and you would hope they would appreciate it, because I mean the criticalness of that first turn, he's putting it right on the line and in the lip. If he had pulled that second one, yeah, that could have been a great score, or I don't know how to say
appreciated,
it.
yeah. As we see it again, drives off the bottom, clean, beautiful, straight back into the pocket, nice and deep, foam on the face, gets the little, you see, the board left the water for a second. When it re-landed was when he lost control.
Maybe the one behind it looks big. Ow. Oh.
Look at that.
It's a cartoon wave. That was just like that drawing. That was just like.
Victor's turning on the inside.
Victor.
So you can see Al Cleland Jr. paddling hard. Harry's just outside him. This looks beautiful.
Beautiful section again, another one, still driving, and again, keep going.
Oh.
Woo! There's more to come too.
That was gnarly, that turn. He fucking watch the replay of that turn. He fucking blows tail.
That was beautiful.
You know whose approach Al reminds me of is Chris Ward. He digs from a very, very natural, don't overthink it place. And watch his turn. Like, you're not trying to go out there and do that turn, but yet he's in the moment and he just grabs the rail and grunts through it, and it creates something that is so special.
He's got an interior decorator in there. Look at it.
Just a beautiful wave. He's getting to enjoy it. Those moments when you get to stand there, enjoy it, and what it's all about, especially in an event. We see the replay. This section gets deep on it and just pumps and drives into that section again, and then stands tall. Here's that sort of like an air into a grab rail cutback.
He had that many attempts he didn't make, and then a couple in that last heat that were like good, but not like, never got that big of a response out of us. That was a huge response.
Harmonizing out.
What beautiful way to be able to judge. You're literally looking at your own human response and saying, yeah, that's definitely pushed him up. And all they've got to do is come up with a ranking at the end, but it's tight at the moment.
Oh, look at that thing.
That one went underground.
Wow.
Harry.
Yes.
Harry.
Yes.
Oh.
Smashed.
Charging out there.
Barton,
bigger
you
board
know
on
it.
that one.
That line right here, disconnecting from the wave face, instantly grabbing your rail and pulling up for a pig dog is one of the hardest things to pull off.
It's like a grand piano falls on his head. It's like some kind of 20s comedy show.
Now.
Back again.
Well, it feels pretty obvious at this point in time to me, I'll tell you.
But how quickly is it switched?
Well, Al's got that one before, which took the pressure off, and he's just able to just keep picking off those beautiful ones.
Judges absolutely fizzing on the boat as well. Talk us through this one. I know you're a connoisseur on Al's tube riding.
I just love it. Like, I mean, look at you can tell he's enjoying it, right? And like that, the judges feel it. We're all kind of feeling it. There's a story that's starting to happen here that Al looks like a clear pick for the win of this heat.
And he was feeling it too. You could see, oh, here we go. On the replay again, just standing tall, just enjoying every moment of it. beautiful surfing.
Yeah, I mean, with Al, when you look past that wave, he's an emotional person. He thrives on energy, right? Like, he'll be the guy on the trip that's listening to the music, having a beer with the crew, and it's cool because he's applying it right here in this slab situation.
And he's been able to pick the best waves, hasn't he? He's had waves that weren't too critical. Harry Bryant, he's gone as critical as he could go.
Oh, my gosh, on your backhand.
Woo!
BL, let's go!
Hazard! Whoa! Wow!
Oh, that is so insane.
Great performance, eh?
Yeah.
Win, lose or draw, Harry Bryant has just showed the type of surfing we want to see. Full commitment, super deep here, Tanner.
Yeah, and he makes it over that first section. This one, it looks like an absolute no-fly zone in there.
Look, look.
Is he body surfing? I don't even know what's happening.
He was charging the foam ball at the end there as well.
Just shows the talent he has, eh? The ability to... Oh, did you see that? How close to that lip he was?
He has such a calm hand, eh?
Didn't he? Yeah, in a moment of crisis, he was just so controlled, and he had it most of the way. Perhaps a little pump there to get in front of that whitewater ball because that foam ball grabbed him, and that's what chewed him up. But hats off to Harry Bryant doing it for the Goofies.
Such an intense session. Just over 40 minutes used up, and there have been some big, big waves flowing through here.
And here's another one.
Al Cleland swinging.
Boys just taking turns out there in these perfect waves.
Oh, my goodness.
Acid drop in.
It's on again. Oh, Al's having his field day.
Alan.
Minutes to go, it's going to be difficult. If there were numbers, there'd be a combo right now.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
With some completions by Harry Bryant, maybe not so. His commitment has been even more so than Al Cleland's, but Al's played the game perfectly and got the completions on his rides.
If there was a Spirit of Adventure award, it'd go to Harry Bryant right now, wouldn't it? As a goofy footer in these waves. But look at Al Cleland. We're getting into masterclass territory here, Tanner.
Absolutely. This is the rare era of enjoying like one of the scariest waves on the planet, essentially, right? Like, I love this. It could kill me.
And you lose here, you don't surf again. So, you know, the win here gets you through to the semis of the final and you get another chance. So it's a big moment. And Al just looks so calm. Look at this set approaching.
What is that?
Notice
some
the
kind of
intention,
ugly triple up.
These guys are both sitting further out than VB every time. They must just be seeing a different lineup spot in a takeoff point.
They're both making their way back down. We talked about how obviously the current's pulling up the point as the wind's pushing down the point. Harry Bryant super deep. Al Cleland.
Sniffing? No. It's Al again!
Ooh, look at this one.
Right place, right time, boy.
Drops in the tube, driving through.
No!
What? What?
Oh, he's cementing the status.
Oh!
Well, no questions in this one. We don't even need to go to the judges. We can do it for them.
No more of that. This is as emphatic as surfing gets. Look at this wave.
It's almost like, are you kidding me level right here. Like, Al has gotten 4 or 5. He's weaved through 4 or 5 of the craziest barrels.
He's filmed a video part in under an hour.
Yeah, look at this one. Doubles up on that reef below sea level, pumping and driving. Because he could see that coming. He knew he had to get to that section. Made it easy, really.
The one with the foam ball hitting him.
Look at Pat Burridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can surf 8 foot.
Yeah, he's full cinder.
I'll give you both $100 if Al Cleland doesn't swear in his interview after this one. I promise that right now. So this heat's still going on. 12 minutes left. VB looking for something here.
Paddling. Smaller inside wave. Super clean one, though. Kind of an easy one, Tanner.
It's also interesting to see VB has switched his board up. He was riding an orange board in the first heat, and now he's on a different craft. And I'm wondering if he stepped down in size. You know, we talked a little bit about your approach. You kind of do have to approach it like a slab. Harry's on a short board, Al's on a short board. And maybe this is going to allow Victor to get a little tighter to the pocket.
Yeah. Still 11.5 minutes to go, so there's a lot of time.
Looked like you nearly bounced off the bottom there for a second, didn't it?
When you look at that wave, there's 3 or 4 feet of wave height that isn't in that particular wave, and so you can see that he's missing the biggest opportunities on those biggest waves.
I mean, from an emotional standpoint, you have to say Harry and Al are leveling up, right? They're attacking for those big ones, and Harry's a good example. He's not even making the waves, but you want to see him go, you know, and Victor a bit more strategic with what he's riding.
And judges are exactly the same as us.
Yeah.
They're sitting there feeling the same way. Look at this.
Make it.
There you go.
Make this one.
Oh, Hazard. Wow. Deep. Big wrapping, cut back, beautiful carve back to the pocket. Will there be more to give him the opportunity to do something crazy down the inside? Nope, tubed a beautiful carve down.
How incredible is Harry? He rides a vast variety of equipment, right? Today he's on a T. Patterson. He'll be on a Gravel one day. He's on a Josh Keogh another day. He rides big and small boards and barrels.
Yep.
He in my opinion, is cutting edge for this heavy water type of surfing.
We came to the UK and surfed a 7-1 the entire time.
Got a 10 at the Pipeline Masters.
Exactly.
He can do it all. And we've seen the backhand performance, the turns, world class. He's grabbed the rail real early.
You got to wonder if he adjusted from that one he had just ridden before where he disconnected from the wave face. Here he's much more tighter to it, trying to drag his butt from the very beginning.
VB on the shoulder just cheerleading for him as well. He had both pom-poms up.
And he drives that one around back to the pocket. Beautiful carving arc. And then just gets the cutout clean, completes it. Beautiful surfing. A little more controlled and moderate to the craziness we've seen from him early.
It'd be interesting to know whether they could feel out in the water that Al had got this one. They must have heard the hoots. They
100%.
knew. Yeah. So at the moment it's surfing for pride because this man has given a masterclass so far for 45 minutes.
It's not about to end either. He's deep in this one.
Oh, he came out
Another tube ride.
I mean, you can sense the urgency on his pump in the beginning of the wave, and it happens a fair amount on these rides for Al. He must be incredibly deep on the reef, and that's what allows him to kind of shoot from behind these sections and keep his inertia moving towards the channel. He's he is putting on a masterclass right now.
This is the replay. There he is driving it. Rail-to-rail pumps. Continues to get the lip to the head as he exits it. Just makes it all. He's in that moment where he's in flow state, mate, and everything feels easy, everything feels good. Lips are hitting you, doesn't matter, and he's just putting on, as you said, a masterclass, Ed. There he is. He's so stoked.
Al kind of lives in that flow state.
Yeah.
To be honest, like he's kind of that guy. He doesn't overthink much, and he just enjoys the moment. You know.
Look at these waves coming through.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I think in terms of the wave quality, this session's been the highest so far.
Wow. Oh my god! Wow! Wow!
Look at these
That was
sets.
a sea monster. Oh my gosh.
Ian Crane giving Martin Daly knuckles there. Thanks for putting us in the spot.
How was that wave?
Literally a thing of beauty. Like, is there a takeoff spot where Harry was on that wave? That was so below sea level.
There's the top third of it's collapsing, isn't it? It's.
And you know what? Natural selection is all about the location being the star, and that wave right there solidifies that fact. Look how you watch the spray come back up inside the tube. Look at that spray inside the tube.
The almond was kind of twisting, wasn't it, from almost horizontal to vertical in points. Unbelievable. Well, VB got a look in.
Victor Bernardo had a good heat.
Harry Bryant got a look in.
It felt to me like a little bit of a story of Harry versus Al in this heat. You know, these guys were wrangling the monsters that were available. Harry laced a couple really nice turns, but those barrels were spectacular.
Yeah, Harry had some bangers. This was a beauty.
Absolute commitment from the start of the heat to the end. Took some gnarly wipeouts. This one was his more sort of controlled ride. That was the sort of wave in a lot of ways that we saw our Cleland Jr. finding and managing to catch a lot of. And Harry just sort of seemed to go the more wild, radical ways with super, high potential.
Our Cleland Jr. stealing all the headlines from the second session. Outrageous performance.
Outrageous, yeah. I mean, Al possibly is going to take the win here, but everybody in this heat is going to be fired up. I mean, there were so many good rides had. Al with like one of the most bizarre power cards I've seen ever. That was out of body.
Speaks to how much speed you get out of the bottom of the wave, doesn't it? The fact he projected out the back of the wave and still had time to grab the rail and pull it back in.
What? What? Psycho shit. Al just went Clee mode. Went Clee doggy. Al Clee mode.
Harry's definitely had the waves to do it though. That big one that he was late on, that he got clipped pulling up into it.
Yeah, Al won.
No surprises there, I don't think. Confirmation of the result in the graphics. Our Cleland Jr. will go through to meet Eithan Osborne in the first of tomorrow's semi-finals. Harry Bryant, Victor Bernardo with some very strong performances though.
Well done, Al. You're fucking ripping, dude. It's one of the craziest heats, like waves in a heat. Like, I don't think I've surfed a
I don't even call that a heat. I think that was one of the craziest free surfs I ever had with the boys.
Yeah, cheers to that.
I just got in a good rhythm, and the wave just kept coming to me when I got to the outside, and yeah, stoked to get a couple with these guys out,
Impressive shit, Al. The waves were just literally, it was like a magnet. They were just like a magnet to you. I was watching them bend towards you, and then paddle back out, boom, one bends towards you again.
It was crazy because it was too far for him, but too far for him. I was just, it was
monster. I'm calling that wave was unpaddleable. Should have seen the reef. There was like a square angle, it was like a right angle, and me and Al looking at reef hanging out of the water.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, you weren't getting to the bottom of that, man. Like there was reef hanging out of it.
That wave was one of the craziest waves I've ever seen.
It's rattled us real hard.
Fuck.
I think on the inside was just like below sea level, as square as it gets. It was crazy. Went on the small little swans again. Got a couple little barrels, but not even close to what those guys did.
Right, let's take a look at this bracket. It is complete after 2 rounds of surfing. Eithan Osborne will face Alan Cleland Jr. and Solly Bailey will face Noah Beshan. We've got that show coming up in a couple of days' time. So we're welcoming Lisa Anderson back into the studio for our final session of the day. Wind hasn't changed, waves haven't changed, and it's still sunny and wonderfully temperate. 24 degrees Celsius, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's take a look at the women's. In that first session, Miller Coco Brown gave it everything she had and booked her place in the final. Now, it's a straight toe-to-toe street fight between Annie Dos Santos, Coco Ho and Kira Pinkerton for that last spot in the final. Let's go in and check in one last time with our man on the water, Nathan Fletcher.
Last chance.
Last chance qualifiers.
Winner goes to the final. What's your approach? What are you going to do out there?
I'm just looking for one real special one, and I think that'll do the trick.
It was super gnarly, like that last heat. I felt like paddling onto them and looking down them, it would just kind of dredge up that extra bit. So I feel like with the experience that we got out there, there'll be some really sick surfing going down this heat.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take a little recap from that first session. All 4 women out there, and I mean, Miller Coco Brown was unbelievable, Lisa.
Yes, she set the pace for this session for sure. I know Coco struggled with getting a couple, but and there was several wipeouts that looked very painful.
Annie Dos Santos sending it, but Kira Pinkerton so close.
Yeah, really deserving of the respect that the judges had. She goes into this second session as the favourite in my mind, no doubt, Tanner.
Yeah, she looked comfortable, you know, which is great, and she'll probably only grow on that feeling.
Okay, 45-minute session, just 3 surfers out on the water. Only one of them can advance to the final to face Miller Coco Brown. So all the pressure on, nothing to lose though. And as we've seen, you talked about it a bit earlier, Lisa, when you get given scores and you can hear them out in the water, you start trying to strategize, whereas this, it's a session.
Yeah, it's like you and your best buddies out there surfing together. And you know, you probably have a little thing between each other, like, you know, I'll buy drinks after this or something like that. But for now, there's no points. There's no stress. It's all about just like cheering each other on, which is what they're going to do.
Okay, go deep.
We saw Al and Harry Bryant call it the best free surf with mates they've ever had.
Let's hope we get more of the same. You take a look out behind them there, and certainly the white caps have dropped down a little bit. I did hear a couple of rumours that the last women's session had some of the best conditions of the day, so I think this is something we can look forward to. Hold the front page. Is that?
Yeah.
Coco, no, it's Kira Pinkerton sat right out the back.
And that tells you something right there. That's what we saw in the opening session. And look at this one. You might want to catch this one because the one behind it looks enormous. Kira driving from
there. Someone chopped her feet off there. But she's gone that deep and she's charged that hard straight into the first set wave. And that means a lot. We know that the judges want to see that.
That means that the other two did not want to be deep. I mean, it must be just that, you know, intimidating out there.
You guys talked a little bit about it earlier with Annie Dos Santos. She did take a very gnarly wipeout, and you got to wonder psychologically if that changed the way she sees the lineup. Is she looking at it now a little bit more like, oh, this is dangerous, instead of it feeling more approachable?
Look at this. Second wave belongs to Kira Pinkerton.
Driving in the barrel. Is there another section? There is. Oh, she's not coming out of that, surely. But the intention's there. She's already had 2 rides. It just started, and she just has the inside and is owning the lineup.
Well, you can definitely see that the confidence is there after that first round.
With Kira, I would say that I feel she has an innate craving for waves like this. You know, on a core identity level, she sees herself as a charger and has put the time in conditions like this.
Just the fact that she came out of that barrel and was instantly hunting for the next one. And she nearly gets spliced by the lip there, doesn't she? But already, like 2 waves to the good. So making her way around the outside of Annie Dos Santos in the helmet there, who's looking to turn on this one.
You can get them from anywhere along the reef, that's for sure.
Oh, double that.
Grabs the rail. Oh, went a little forward, it looked like. The weight went really forward in this, you know, desire to project. Kind of looked like the head got too involved and kind of drove the body forward. Lost control.
Great technique on the takeoff, though, Tanner.
I mean, I feel like, make no mistake about it, with Annie Dos Santos, she's ready to go. Like, this girl, like, packs them at Nias. She's been in the eddy. Like, her Chopu stuff is psycho. So right here, she might just be getting that rhythm again. You know, she might be getting a little kindling to then spark up and go out where Kira's at.
Oh, having another look at that.
Thing. And don't forget how difficult it appears to ride backhand.
Yeah.
I don't know if a goofy footer could win this event. I don't even know if it's possible given the conditions of the day. If it was clean and perfect, but the chandeliering thing is a really difficult thing to negotiate on the backhand.
And the length, right? Like,
Yeah.
as a backside surfer, when you're in your pig dog positioning, you can slow down. It's really hard to get your speed back from that position. And so, like, even with Harry, we saw that a couple times. He was just barely too deep, and it became his heat.
Wow.
Few of these, Martin Daly calls these waves sea monsters, and there's a few of them going unridden here.
See how perfect it is down the line still. It's an amazing wave.
Only now she's getting a little cheesier. Yeah, like, because she's going to be so tired tonight. Kira, she's been going for it all day.
Yeah, I mean, to come back to your point, Barton, Cowley Vast and Harry Bryant really struggling. Two incredible surfers. And Annie Dos Santos, like, charging. She wants to get into this, but... Oh, Kira Pinkerton again right outside.
I mean, this is wild. Like, Lisa, what's your thoughts on this? This almost feels like two different heats. Like, Kira is sitting at least 100 yards further up the lineup than these two girls. Like, from a judge's perspective, do you think that plays in?
I mean, yeah, strategy. Who wants it more? I mean, like you said, whoever, you know, from the step off the boat to that very first moment to now, like who wants it the most?
25 minutes in, and Annie Dos Santos has got something. Coco Ho's got a little bit, but it's Kira Pinkerton with now 3 full scoring waves on the board.
And if you're to be any chance, the first thing you've got to do is just paddle up to Kira Pinkerton's inside and take it.
Yeah.
And show that you want it. And the judges go, oh, they want it.
Yeah.
Because as it stands now with Coco and Annie sitting down the inside there, it feels to me that they don't necessarily want those same type of waves, and the judges want you on them waves.
But, you know, that brings you to the natural selection forum, right? Like, this wave is so challenging. Do you really want to put yourself in that lineup like that? Like, in a normal heat, yes, take the inside, get competitive about it, but you really have to understand if you're ready to charge on these sets as they come in.
There's a moment, though, in the lineup where Kira's paddling around them. Like, they can see it.
I'm just wondering if there's a wider set that comes in, too. That's you know, kind of the same, you know?
Yeah, well, and you can, like we did say, you can get them down the line. There's no doubt about that. Look at that.
Wow. Wow.
See Al Cleland on the boat then. Like, that was primal, wasn't it? There was nothing else there. He was just screaming at that wave.
From a condition standpoint, it feels like this heat is the best of the day.
Yeah, it's a little more controlled. It's the edge, maybe the wind's back down a little bit. Still
Looks like
howling,
more
though.
coming, too. Look at this.
Look at these things. Up from the depths, 30 stories high. Godzilla.
How crazy was it hearing Harry Bryant break down the wave that passed under him, saying there was basically dry reef under there, like it's unpaddleable.
Ooh. Kira again from deep, just dominating. This is going to be an incredible final. Not to assume anything, but at this point in time, we'd see that Kira Pinkerton will make it through to our final against Mila Coco Brown.
It almost feels like we're looking into a crystal ball here for women's surfing, doesn't it? When you're seeing the way Kira Pinkerton and Mila Coco Brown have attacked these waves.
Yes, it's great to see this level of surfing from women, and it's only getting crazy. It's getting crazier. I mean, every time I look at social media, I see some new kid that's 12 years old boosting airs, and I'm like, I'm just mesmerized.
In some ways, you can almost tell the lineage, right? Annie Dos Santos is taking a path that feels to me similar to what Laura Enever is doing, right? Charging heavy, slabbing waves. And that would be more akin to Kira Pinkerton. Here we go. Annie, as I speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was sick.
Hell yeah.
You got to think Mila's probably wishing she was out there. I wish I hadn't qualified first. I could have got the next one.
And there's the local grommets watching it, and in the not too distant future, they'll be pulling in there themselves.
Loved getting that close-up of Annie's face as well, paddling into that one.
Look at she like fired up her hands too. Like, that is such an accomplishment.
That was technical right there.
High line through the tube. An interesting pig dog style, different to a lot that we've seen. It's her own and her own interpretation, and she needed that ride just to kind of make things right in her own head about the day.
Yeah, that's going to be a good confidence boost for her, for sure.
Coco Ho looking for this one.
It's funny how sometimes you have to interact with the lineup and create your own story, right? For Annie, she's got to get that rhythm going. Now she's going to feel confident, and when a wave comes that maybe is going to have a bit more of a tricky positioning, she'll be that much more ready to drop in on it.
Coco ducking under that lip.
In the pit.
Oh. Saw her silhouette for a second then, didn't you? I thought she was going to make it out.
Those foamy ones are just really hard to ride, right, Barton?
Yeah, I think it's just bigger is better, you know, in the judges' minds.
Kira Pinkerton in position potentially for what's coming at them.
I mean, you can imagine all of San Clemente is standing on their feet right now watching this heat. Kira is such a legend. She's such a sweet person, you know. It almost is a juxtaposition with how hard she goes in the water.
Look what's out the back there.
Oh my God, the next one's psycho. She's gonna get so
unbelievable. Straight into another tube, I'm sure, or a nice, nice smack off the lip there. She's having the best time of her life right now. Definitely. I want to see more. Look at this.
Ani dos Santos.
Oh, yes.
Charging that one.
She's awakening. She's awakening.
Yes, exactly. Double tombstone as well with the boards there. Right, replays.
Kira must feel at this point that she's in the lead. She's dominating the heat energetically and physically with her performance, and she's just having a good time. Feels like watching Al Cleland in that one before, where she's just surfing and enjoying every minute of it.
Beautiful getting that shot, just shuffling her back foot up and onto the toes there.
Yeah, they did a great job on this. You feel like you're riding the wave with them.
And then here's my spirit animal, Ani dos Santos, as he just drops in. This is what we were talking about.
Insane.
Kindling campfire.
And that was a throaty one, wasn't it? That wasn't a fake one where you're kind of looking for an easy. That was a really throaty, difficult wave. She's really starting to stand up. As you said, Lee, she's awakened.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom dropped out of that. It hollowed right out, didn't it? Yes, Annie.
Barton, maybe, because, you know, they are sitting closer to the channel, and maybe that is a goofy foot play. You know, maybe in the long run, she's able to condense her tube riding and not have to worry about the length of it.
That's a great point.
Bummer. She just, all her waves just don't have a corner outlet, don't have a good ending on them.
Good to hear Gerlach saying that.
Yeah, it is the point. And to your point, Tanner, maybe it brings the others down the line too and shortens the tube ride for the natural footers, and you're more of a chance of matching them.
No doubt these girls picked up the energy from the fellas before, right? Because they're charging even more this round.
Yeah, looking back, actually, those first heats felt a bit more survival. You know what I mean? Like, looking at those, it was like that edge, there was that raw wind on it, and now in those last two heats, it's definitely turned into performance-based, I would say.
The old morning sickness cleaning up through the day.
Yeah, we've gone from survive to thrive. Okay, that is our final session of the day. Let's take a look back at it. Some beautiful waves and some really, really courageous surfing from this woman, Ani dos Santos.
Talk about courageous. What about this young lady, Kira Pinkerton? 2 sessions today, and both of those sessions, she put everybody on notice.
Almost like she felt like she still had a little bit more meat on the bone after that first heat. Had to prove it once again.
I definitely think the word of the day is courage. And I mean, Kira was, you know, drinking the tea.
Yeah,
for sure. Just had everything. She had the barrels and the turns too.
And you feel like having another session's almost advantageous going into the final day because you've surfed it twice in different times, different conditions. Mila Brown only got that one session, was very, very dominant in it. But
see what the judges say. They don't even need to say it, it's that obvious. So Kira Pinkerton does take the win ahead of Coco Ho and Ani dos Santos. Let's hear from the surfers.
The second round. How was it, Kira?
That was insane. I just wanted to get the wave of my life and had a few little short ones that were cool, but I mean, still think I got some more room to do a little bit better. I just kept telling myself, like, you're surfing perfect barrels, like, forget the heat, you're out here with 2 other people, and yeah, I was just having the best time of my life.
I'm dead. That was a lot of wipeouts in one go. You know, I didn't make a sick one, but I'm stoked that I was like pulling in and trying and doing better than last time, and that's what we're here for, to get better, and I'm happy with my performance.
I'm really impressed with Kira and Mila and Annie, and just women's surfing is in good hands, and more events like this and really insane waves will just continue to shine the light on everyone.
I think Annie's probably the first person you want to talk about there. Like, she was so pumped on that performance.
And you could tell that she was there to learn, because she even said in a previous heat, like, can you tell me something? Give me some feedback. Like, she just wants to learn more.
Okay. Confirmation of the result, Mila Coco Brown will face Kira Pinkerton in the final. We'll be back with that in 2 days' time. But, I mean, you said it, courage was the word of the day, potentially. No one holding back there. It was really strong surfing from start to finish.
No one holding back, and you could see the momentum and people getting into a rhythm. You know, the first session took beatings, and then the second time around, you could see that there's a bit more of that, like, okay, now I know what to expect, so now I'm going to take it up a notch and maybe just go over the ledge this time and not pull back.
Tanner, you called Kira Pinkerton from the start. Did you know she had that in her?
Oh, I knew she had that in her. I didn't know how she was going to do today, but like, you know, it's so amazing to see the format and the way that it plays out, right? Let's just use Kira as an example. But if you had to go heat by heat and be like, I only need a 3.5, maybe you're not going to put yourself on the line time and time again. And today, what we saw was a deep love for just charging. You know, like guys like Harry Bryant, Al Cleland, like take a heat, put your jersey on, take your jersey off. They're still going to do that. And I feel like with natural selection, it's really beautiful to see it coming to fruition. So we're all watching and just realizing that it doesn't really matter if there's a 0.0 or a 0.7 or whatever on it. It's like your gut tells you who is the winner on the day.
Yeah, it's that heat versus session kind of feel.
Yes!
Your pick first thing this morning, though, Barton. You did well.
Well, Mila Brown is showing enormous potential. She's only 17 years old and, you know, as good on the wave face in the tube as she is in the air. So she's got the whole package. But for me, Kira Pinkerton today was the standout without question. She was on another level of commitment. And we'll see what the conditions bring for the final rounds. But those first two sessions were incredible.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have to wait too long. If you want a little sneak peek of what day 2 might look like, then sit back, relax, and enjoy this. It's coming up very shortly.
So we're here to get some of the best waves of our life, and I think that's what everyone wants, so that's the plan.
I'm super pumped to have that opportunity tomorrow. I'm just psyched to go and have a heap of fun.
Well, it was definitely a goal to make the final, but I just wanted to come here and get tubed and have fun with my mates.
I just hope we have the same waves. Either way, we're just going to fucking try to get tubed.
Yeah, whatever comes down, I just want to be happy and have fun. And
if I make it, if I win, or whatever happens, like, I'm in love with surfing, so.
Okay. Make it. Okay. Wow. There it is. Bam. Oh. Nailed that thing. Another one. Boom. Oh my God. Oh. Boom.
That was the first proper barrel.
Yeah. That was it.
So Thursday, the 20th of February at 12 p.m. Pacific time, you will be able to see day 2, finals day of natural selection surf. Lisa, Tanner, Barton, final thoughts after today's action?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I had like chills going through my body the whole entire time. And the expectation of what I was going to see, because of what we're looking at, because of the conditions and the wave and everything together, the color of the ocean, it was all so beautiful. And to see how these surfers were going to strategize and to see if they were going to just go crazy. And I just thought it was so amazing and so grateful to be here to watch it.
Tanner, there'd been a lot of build-up. It was like you can't avoid all of that build-up. It had pegged it pretty high. Did it live up to expectations?
It way exceeded it. You know, like for me, I'm like a frothing surf fan, right? Like, and I saw it getting leaked, and I was just going to be at home watching this on my couch, just freaked out about it. And now I'm in the booth with you guys getting to call it, and like seeing these waves challenge these surfers, some of the best in the world, and still to see them reaching and pushing the bar higher within themselves as a camaraderie sense. It's like, I don't know if you can ever go back once you see this, right?
Yes.
You've been in it since the start button. I mean, is this what you envisaged when you started putting NST Surf together?
Yeah, we wanted to create a more pure form of surfing competition or surfing event and create something that was spectacular but allowed the surfers to express themselves and be themselves in this environment that's so raw and wild. Those waves have got Hawaii power. And to see the performances today, to see the way things played out, to see the judging, hear their comments, warmed my heart, and I'm excited for that, Thursday. It's going to be incredible. Tune in, peoples.
Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope as viewers you feel the same way that we do here in the studio. If you did, then tune in again on Thursday. 12 p.m. PST, we'll be back with the semi-finals and finals of the men, the finals of the women. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are in the world. We'll see you then.
Crazy. Oh, no way.
Oh shit! He just got sucked over so bad. What the fuck?